And then I was like, can I just give you my phone number? And if anything ever comes, can you just text me? And then this is the best part. She's like, sure. And so I put my phone number in her phone and then I handed it back to her. And she said, and wait, tell me your name. And I said, it's Busy. And she goes, oh, like Busy Phillips, the actress?
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
I don't feel great, but I'm okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
I know. Here's what I have. Many thoughts and feelings. Trying to cry.
Aw.
Like I haven't felt right for weeks, you know?
Yeah.
And I think because I would get tested for COVID daily.
Yeah.
And I'm doing so many things. Like work is just, we've discussed.
Yeah.
Requires a lot. And which is great. We talked to Gloria Calderón Kellett today, guys, later in the show. We did an interview. And her thing about reframing how you talk about things is like it is something I've been thinking about and I want to like continue to implement it. But this is a very it's a show that asks a lot of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I haven't been feeling right, but like obviously getting these negative COVID tests day after day after day, I've just been like powering through it like we all kind of fucking do,
Right.
And then this weekend, Friday, we did the most insane thing, which was I presented a Jingle Ball in character.
I saw.
Mark was also in LA all last week with Birdie. Cricket doesn't have like we don't have like a nanny anymore,
Right.
And that help in our home it's been a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
If Mark is in New York, it's not because he is very flexible in his work and stuff. So he can just be there whenever the kids need him. But it was really stressful. And I was feeling last week, I was starting to feel starting to feel really bad.
Yeah.
But I hadn't been feeling right for weeks. And remember I had that sinus infection?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that sinus infection ever went away. But I also think so anyway. On Sunday I woke up and I was like, it was just me and Crix on Saturday. Oh, we had like a little play date, the two of us, with a mom that I like from school.
Okay.
And her little girl is like become Cricket's BFF. And it's really, they're really cute together.
Aww.
So I texted and I was like, are you guys around this afternoon? And she was like, actually, because they have a baby. She's like, actually, I never have help on the weekends, but our nanny is here today. Like, so we are free. And I was like, why don't you guys come over and hang out? So we had it was really nice because I haven't done stuff like that. I've really missed it.
Yeah.
And then we took the girls out to dinner and it was hilarious. They were really funny.
Aww.
But then I was just like, after they left, I had like a glass of wine. Again, not the best for sinuses, just FYI.
Yeah.
But after they left, I was like, oh no, I feel crazy. And then Sunday I woke up and I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. Oh no. And then someone forwarded me like Lil Nas X's team tested positive for COVID.
Oh no.
But they were all tested before Jingle Ball. Obviously you get tested before you go in.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, well, what if I full blown have COVID?
Right.
So I called my production and they were like, you can go get tested at the place in the city that they test people. But I also have this at-home testing device that this company sent me.
Okay. I didn't even know about that.
It's fancy.
Sounds
I guess they have like
fancy.
memberships.
Okay.
Or you can buy the machine outright. Like basically it's called
okay.
Q. Like, guys, it's not an ad.
Oh, I
This
do
is-
know. Yeah, I do know about that. I know somebody that had that at their house.
Oh, right. You do.
Yeah. Because
A famous person, guys. A famous person.
Because they had to get tested, like I think more than one time a day, for their work. Yeah. Okay, so you have the testing thing at your house.
Well, I just got it. The
okay.
company very graciously was like, we'd love to send you a Christmas gift of this fancy COVID testing machine. And I was like, I'm not going to say no to that.
Well, that's good. So far COVID negative, but
Oh, no, it's totally negative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did 2 Q tests and I did the PCR, full PCR test from like the people at work.
Gotcha.
So I knew it was negative, but I was like, there's just something is wrong with me.
yeah.
And so then at work, but again, this is like where I'm just sort of, I don't know, it's so hard here. So I texted my doctor in LA and I knew, I just had this feeling. I was like, this is just it. Like I hit the like wall, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I went to work yesterday morning super early and Renee like recommended me to her doctor who's like a vocal cord specialist. And there are lots of different ENTs.
Yeah.
There are ENTs that specialize in vocal cords, in ears, in neck surgery, in face surgery. And there are ENTs that specialize in sinuses. And that is what I was looking for. And I didn't want to go back to the just general ENT person that I had seen a month and a half ago because I knew now, like, that I know that this is just, anyway. It's like old school. I haven't had a sinus infection like this since before my surgery.
Right. I know. I was surprised to hear that you had one again because I feel like you don't even have any sinuses left.
No, well, listen, Dr. Wang, my new doctor who I'm obsessed with. So anyway, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm so like, my brain is not, I'm not operating in a full form. I'm back to my old school foggy brain sinus vibes. But anyway, so then my doctor in LA, my just general practitioner doctor in LA, I texted her again and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm literally in so much pain. I need help. And she wrote back, she was like, this is a referral from this other doctor. Try these 2 doctors. I looked them up. I liked the look of Clark Wang. I really
Sometimes
did.
that's all it is. You just,
I really did. And so Ray and I had been texting back and forth because I was shooting, like, actively making a television show.
Right.
So it's hard to like make calls to whatever. But I was just like, you know what? Ray was having 0 luck. And I was like, you know what? I'm just calling like a Hail Mary to Dr. Wang's office. I did. They were like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so sorry. The doctor's fully committed. The earliest he could see you would be next week. And I was like, okay, listen, I'm just going to get real with you for 1 second. I have got to see a doctor today. I had sinus surgery in 2018 in Los Angeles at Cedars. Like, this was my doctor in LA. I'm here in New York. I'm shooting a television show. I know I'm going to be off work this afternoon, but I'll have to go to the hospital. Like, I was like, I'm going to have to go to a hospital. If there is any way there's a cancellation or you could squeeze me in, or if you could just ask him, I would do, literally at this point, I'm in tears. Like, I can't, like, whatever. And she was like,
Right.
okay. Let me just take your number. Let me just take your number. I'll call you back. And then she called back like they were rolling. We were about to start going. And I was like, sorry, guys, I gotta take this. And so they got me in to see Dr. Wang yesterday at 4:30. And he was like immediately like did the scope up. I was like, oh, thank God. He's exactly what I need to see. You remember when I would show you like the videos up my nose?
Yes.
Into my sinuses, into my head.
Yes.
So he did that. And he immediately was like, you have a massive sinus infection. Like, what is happening here? You're so sick. And then I told him, well, a month and a half ago, I thought I had a sinus, I felt like I had a sinus infection. I went to this doctor and they gave me this antibiotic. And he was like, I've talked to you for 2 seconds. I would never give you that antibiotic. It wouldn't do anything for you. He was really like salty. I loved him. And so he put me on, what was that?
It's the rain.
Oh, I heard it's raining there.
It's pouring, torrential.
Scary? Kind of fun.
No, I mean, it's nice to have like some weather.
I enjoy weather. Anyway, so now I'm on massive amounts of steroids and a really strong antibiotic. And he essentially was like, I'm not even sure if you should be flying next week for Christmas. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
Anyway, Ray's bringing a fruit basket over to Dr. Wang's nurses. Shout out Stephanie and Emily for hooking me up. I was like, oh, you're getting a gift basket. There's no two ways about this.
I hope it's good fruit.
Well, that's up to Ray. He's gotta do that. But I got home and I was like, I guess I have to look. I had a 6:45 a.m. pickup today. I was supposed to have a 6:45 a.m. pickup today. And so I was like, I guess I got to look at my lines. And I looked at the scene and I like looked at the call sheet and I'm only in the first scene. I'm like, well, that's good. At least I can just sleep after, whatever. And so then I go to the scene to learn my lines and I'm like, Wiki and Gloria, 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 Wiki and Gloria. Summer's feet appear underneath the bathroom stall. And I was like, absolutely not. No. No.
You weren't just going in to show your feet.
Well, I texted, honestly, I would if it were,
of course,
if I weren't like,
of course. You don't want to get anyone else sick and you don't want to get sicker. And you have scenes coming up that are more important than just showing your ankles. So,
so I slept until 10:30 this morning.
Oh, good. That's good.
I didn't just not show up for work, guys. I talked to people.
You called. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Eric Gurian and Meredith Scardino worked it out for me and it's all good. And I don't feel better yet, but I think that I've now taken the steroids twice and 2 antibiotics. So I think maybe by tomorrow morning I'll feel, because I'll take...
Yeah, pretty soon you'll be able to lift a car.
Yeah, I'll take more steroids tonight, more antibiotics tonight. And then...
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. It's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's probably actually not that insane because I think like all of our immune systems are probably a little bit weaker than they used to be, because I feel like every time anyone in my family does anything in public, they're like, oh, I have like a little bit of sniffles or whatever. And like, I just think that it's a lot easier to pick something up maybe than it used to be. And you're tired, because you're run down.
I am run down because like we're babies. We're babies again.
Yeah, we're just
because we spent like a year inside the house.
Yeah, exactly. Just
we got to start eating dirt.
We're veals. Well, I'm not going to eat dirt because I feel like I'm not going to say who, but I feel like there's celebrities that like are like, I eat clay, and then everybody
Is that true? I don't even know what that is.
It's a bad road to go down, I think. Even to jokingly say that you're going to eat dirt, I feel like someone's going to be like, Busy Phillips eats immuno boosting dirt.
Well, I don't, but I am drinking. I clearly don't.
Play in some dirt, maybe, but not eat it.
I am drinking a juice that I got, so that's nice, I guess.
Oh, good.
A green
some
juice.
Fresh juice.
Here's what I decided, though, Casey. I'm going to tell you. I had an epiphany.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm done with sinus infections. This is the last one I'm ever going to have in my life.
I think that'll work just as well as anything else.
I know. And I really believe it. I believe it to be true. It's enough. Like, I'm leaving it behind. It's like an old way I didn't, it's a manifestation of an old way of being, and I like don't need it anymore in my life, and it's done.
Hit your lifetime limit.
I hit my lifetime limit.
Sinus infections.
Yeah, it's over. And I'm leaving them behind. I'm leaving them behind in 2021.
So feeling a little low key and a little not well, but on your way to being well. So that's good. That's good. That's all good.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I don't feel like I do feel like energetically, I know like things were feeling really kind of horrible for a little bit.
Yeah.
I do feel since that eclipse, the last eclipse of eclipse season, I do feel there's been an energetic shift for myself.
Okay.
I can't speak for everyone, but I do feel a bit like, I don't know, like things feel a little bit different. Do you feel like that or no?
I mean, listen, I had one of the worst days of my life this week. Not one of the worst days of my life. That's a lie. My dad passing away was one of the worst days of my life. But I had like a classic bad day that almost seemed like a joke. So
What
I
happened?
don't know. Okay, so you know that I went to the doctor. I had that lump in my armpit.
Yeah.
I too begged someone to get me in to see. I was only able to scramble something like a couple weeks after my initial doctor's appointment. But so I was able to go to a radiology place here in Los Angeles. That was great, like a beautiful radiology center. And my doctor was like, let's get an ultrasound on that lump in your armpit. I don't think it's anything, but just in case.
And also there have been reports that people post booster have had those lumps, right?
Yeah, that's what she said. And also my husband was like, this is weird, but I also have a lump in my armpit. So I was like, it's probably, that does make me feel better because we can't all have nefarious armpit lumps. So, so anyway, she was like, yeah, I'm going to send you. So I went, last week to get a mammogram and to get an ultrasound on.
How long had it been since you had a mammogram? Do you do it yearly?
It had been a while, like since I was in New York. And
really?
You know, yeah. And it's like, again, not my favorite thing to do. So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, it's nobody's favorite.
I had my first one, remember?
Yes, I do remember.
Sucks.
I'll say this. I mean, like, in case I haven't made this clear, I am particularly anxious about doctors for various reasons.
Yes.
We talked about like sizeism and doctors, you know, only seeing your size and only talking to you about that and how that hampers a lot of people who are larger to not go to the doctor. Also, I've had a couple really, really negative, like before all that, just really, really negative experiences with particular doctors that like, I don't want to get too deep or too dark, whatever. But those things combined just really like make me, it's like pulling teeth to get me to go to the doctor. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'll grit my teeth through it. So anyway, but this doctor's really nice. She wanted to send me for an ultrasound mammogram. So I went, the place was really nice. Everyone there was really nice. I got my mammogram, which there's no two ways about it. It sucks to get like your boobs smashed in this thing. It's not the funnest thing, but everybody was really nice. Then I went and got the ultrasound on my armpit and that was fine. Again, like not not pleasant. Like, it's not the same as like a baby ultrasound where they just like gently glide it over your tummy. They're like really digging in there to try to find the thing that they want to look for. So anyway, I did it. They were like, we're going to call you with the results by 4 p.m. A doctor's going to look at all of your scans and call you by 4 p.m. So we'll talk to you later today. This was early in the morning. I go out to my car where my car was parked. Someone had backed into my car and put a pretty significant dent in the back of my car. That is not my car, by the way. It's a car that I'm just renting.
Oh my God.
And they hadn't left a note and like no one was around. And I was
What
like,
day was this? What was the date?
It was the 9th. So I was like, oh, fuck me. Great. Well, anyway, I'm going to there's nothing to do but drive myself home and figure out like what to do about this dent in my car. So I drive home. I go inside the house, pour myself a cup of coffee, literally sit down. And it was like a 20-mile drive to get back from the radiology place. Pour myself a cup of coffee and I'm like, now I'll just start my day and wait for this call. I immediately got a call from the radiology center saying the doctor would like you to come back in to get some more scans done. So I was like, great, now I want to vomit. And so I was like, okay, when can I be there? And they were like, please come as soon as possible. They want you to get it done as soon as possible. So I was like, freaking the fuck out,
Yeah,
you know? And I was like,
course.
it's going to take me a while to get there, but let me get in my car and get on the way. So, and it was also like a gray day and a little rainy. And so I started driving with my newly dented car back to the radiology center. And then I was like I made it like 19 miles. I was less than a mile away. And then I got a text on my phone. This is a testament to like why you shouldn't pay attention to texts while you're driving. I was like, shit, that might be from my doctor, and just like looked at it and like kind of did that thing where I almost took an exit, but then I was like, no, this isn't the right exit. And so like swerved just the tiniest bit, popped not one, but 2 tires on my car. A mile from this test that I go need to take. So I literally just called my husband at work, started crying my head off the second he answered the phone. And like, huge shout out to that guy. He was like, I can see where you are on my phone. I'm on the way. I'm this far away. So he came, he got me. We left the car there. He took me back to the radiology center. I got another mammogram, another sonogram. And then they were like, we need to do it one more time. They had the doctor look at it like immediately. Like they left me laying there on the table and we're like, we need to do everything one more time.
That's what happened to me too, by the way, last time.
Yeah, it was, it was a bummer. And like,
It's a bummer.
as I said, like, I knew in like logically that there's a good chance it's nothing. But also I know from my own history, once in a while, it is something. So you have to like go through with that. And I really just wanted to like fucking leave. And so then they came, did it a third time. But by that time, it really, really like it hurt. I was sore and I just wanted to like, I just needed to collapse. But so anyway, then in the meantime, my husband had dropped me off and like went back to the car and was like waiting for a tow truck to come pick it up to bring it to get new tires. And so I called him and he was like, okay, the tow truck's on the way, but I think I can get there and get you and get back. And then we can meet the tow truck driver. It'll all be fine. He was like really taking charge. So while I was waiting for him, then in the lobby of the radiology place, they were like, my phone rings and they're like, hi, it's the radiology place. And I was like, okay, yeah. And they were like, can you get somewhere where can you talk? And I was like, I'm in the lobby. Like, do you want me to come back in? What? So they were like, just get somewhere where you can talk. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking like pass out in this lobby. So anyway, I went to some corner and I was like, yes, just shout to me what it is. And so they were like, oh, everything looks fine. There were just some things that, that the doctor wanted to get some a second and third glance at, and then we'll just keep an eye and we'll like come back in a year. And I was like, okay.
That's it?
Yes, after all that. And I just was like, I was so sore and so sad about my fucking car that isn't even my car. But our friend Amanda, who we work with on this podcast, I was texting her the whole time that this was going on because we were supposed to have a meeting with someone, and obviously I had to postpone. And she was like, someone told me something really smart, is that sometimes you just have to treat a bad day like a sick day. So just like get yourself home, get in bed, put on a movie. And she was really right, and I was really lucky to be able to do that. But like, shout out to, it was just like normally I'm like, I got this. I can do this myself. I'm going to cry. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to, I just like, I'm very stoic about those things.
Yeah. I didn't even know that happened.
It was really scary and really like, it didn't have to be that scary. Like I freaked myself out a lot.
Well, but also I feel like the doctors sounded a little bit like they sort of freaked you out too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I appreciate the urgency, and I appreciate so much that they were like getting back to me in real time, because like truly the last time I had a mammogram, it took 2 weeks to hear back that there was something that they wanted to keep an eye on. And that like, so then I had to wait 2 weeks just to hear that there was something to worry about instead of 2 minutes,
Yeah, it feels like it's weird because it was like their communication was quick, but it was also like sort of panicky.
Yeah. And listen, like in their defense, I think there was like something that was concerning enough to like, they have to be vague. Nobody's allowed to say anything that is not their place to say.
Yes.
Like I'm remembering back when my son was like a little baby, I think like a student doctor mentioned something about his skull looking unusual. And like that freaked us out so much. And then like our regular pediatrician was like, he never should have said that. And, blah, blah, blah. So everybody is walking a line, right? But yes.
For sure. I mean, well, by the way, back to Dr. Wang yesterday, after the discussion about my sinuses or whatever, he's like, but we need to talk about something else. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, you've really pronounced and swollen like nodes in your neck and your like under your chin, like my neck and my head.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not normally what like we see with sinusitis, with like a sinus infection.
Right.
But I can't know until you get the sinus infection under control. But like, it's concerning me a bit.
Yeah.
How they are. So after you go through this, like we need to check, I need you to come back in so I can check these notes. And it's like, I appreciate the diligence.
Yeah.
But also maybe just say like, it's probably the sinus infection. But maybe he's just trying to scare me so I come back. I don't know. Maybe they just try to scare you so you come back.
Who knows? I think every doctor has their own style. I've had like my kid's pediatrician was always brilliant because she was always like, I know you're going to go Google this 2 seconds after I say anything about it. So just so you know, like, here's how complicated this is, or here's how common this is, or whatever. But then I've also had like doctors that, I said the story about like, when my son was going through like all his seizure exams, like one doctor just like frowning and calling people and demanding that they come in, and it was like a problem with his computer. And we were like, you could have just said my computer's not working.
People are so,
we're all like, they just don't realize because it's their job every day. But I do want to say thank you so much. Like, so many people remembered that I said I was going to do this on the 9th. So I got messages on Instagram from people who were really sweet. And Raymond was texting me and making me laugh because he was like, wanted to know about how the doctor went, and just like, he's very funny. So he was making me laugh. And even though his own leg is broken off or whatever
Still,
happened to him.
still in the boot.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be
But
careful.
yeah, but anyway, it was super dramatic. My car is like only half fucked up now, and like we're already down a car.
I mean, I can't.
And so now I'm gonna have to like pay for this fucking body damage and I'm just like, oh my God. I get it. Like I get the instinct to flee hitting someone's car, but also it's just like so shitty.
Here's what I think. I think it's all about to turn the fuck around. I really do. I'm not kidding.
Maybe I'd be ready for it.
I really think it's true.
But it
I
was
do.
like, oh, and then this is funny. Also, I was like, we talked about like microdosing mushrooms last week on the podcast because we were both in like a dark place. I'm really not in a dark place. I'm like just emotional over being scared, but also by like the kindness of people in my life. That's incredible. So that made me really emotional. But I was like, but last week we were in a super dark place. People commented on it. Some people were so nice. And again, like being concerned about what a place we were in. We were talking about like microdosing mushrooms. And I was like, I don't know if I can ever like conjure that little English man that sold the original mushroom chocolate bar to us back, because like he didn't have like, you don't have business cards when you're just a little elfin like.
Don't tell me he reached out.
No, he didn't. But I was like, let me try to buy some of these. That's what I'll give Busy for Christmas. I'll like try to order. So like I ordered from this place that had like really high ratings and like, and I was like, I don't know how they do this, how it's like whatever, but they say that they do this and whatever. It was 100% a scam. So like they were so attentive, best customer service ever. As soon as I sent them money, I never heard from those people again. And I was like, I mean, this is a lesson. Like I'm not meant to try to do semi-legal
Drug buying. I had people reach out to me directly that were like, I can hook you up. Don't worry, girl.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, there you go. Get hooked up that way because I was like, oh, I'll just get her this for Christmas. I was excited because they had like mint chocolate, which I know you like. And I was like, oh, I'll get that. That'll be
I feel
so
like we can't
fun.
make it too tasty. Otherwise it won't be a microdose for me.
I mean, I guess not. Yeah. But anyway, don't worry about it because you're never going to taste it.
Oh no. I'm sorry you got scammed.
I mean, it truly made me feel like a 100-year-old woman.
Is that like, did you feel how lame I felt when I went into like the like legal weed shops here in New York, not understanding that it's just fucking bullshit? And I essentially bought a pack of cigarettes and I was like, what is this? This is so weird. Why is this? This is not right.
I don't know if I knew about that.
No, I don't think I told anyone because it was embarrassing.
It is. I mean, it's so embarrassing, but also like, I feel like I knew the risks, but also like sometimes those risks pay off and you have faith or whatever. And you're like, okay, like nobody would be that dishonest to just like take my, of course they would. They sell drugs.
That's what this 100%.
And like, okay, so these things are becoming like more legitimized, you know, like mushrooms are legal in certain parts of California and in other states, and more states are looking to legalize them. Marijuana is legal in places, but
I mean, people literally are using like ketamine as therapy now.
Yes, that's all great. But I think like the business is still like, you know, probably has some criminal element to it, unfortunately.
Oh my God. Totally.
So, you know, so I know so many like honest business people. My friend owns a successful dispensary in DC, one of my high school friends, but also like whoever Mr. Mushroom was that I tried to buy stuff from online is just a big phony. And ordinarily this is like the kind of thing that I would try to do something about it, but what are you going to do? Like I'm going to like call Better Business Bureau?
The guy that I was trying to buy drugs from really scammed the shit out of me.
Totally flaked on me, and he's not reliable or
Fuck
honest.
that guy.
So anyway, that was yeah.
That's really funny. Well, I appreciate the sentiment, and
I mean-
I'm going to take it as a gift anyway.
Okay.
You paid for it. So I'm going to accept that as your Christmas gift and consider us even.
Oh my Lord.
Even Stevens.
Yeah. I'm trying to text this guy and be like, can I get a tracking number? And just nothing.
Yeah.
No tracking
Well.
number.
Crickets.
Olive and June.
We love you. We love you, Olive and June. You know, if you come to LA, you can go to Olive and June and get your nails painted.
That's
at the place.
That's very exciting.
But you don't have to.
But you
do
don't
that.
have to, because
You know why?
You can buy
get
the Manny
system. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is the perfect gift for your girlfriends, your guy friend. This is like the perfect gift for your mom, your sister-in-law, your sister, period.
Yeah.
I love the Olive and June Manny system so much. You've heard us talk about it before. If you've been waiting, now's your moment.
Why have you been waiting?
Why have you been waiting? Well, we get told by people that they haven't been waiting, that they have it and they love it.
Yes, that a lot.
So we have been told by a lot of people. They reach out to us. But the system, it comes with all the tools you need in one box to give yourself a perfect manicure. The system is super easy, 5 steps. It comes with Poppy, the patented brush handle that makes it really easy to paint your nails with both of your hands. The polish is incredible. It looks literally like gel. It's super shiny, doesn't chip, lasts at least a week.
At least.
It is, and the colors are incredible. And it's so easy to do your nails yourself. If you're a person who's like, I actually can't do my nails myself,
you can.
I challenge you to do it with the Olive and June Manny system. It's the secret behind Salon Perfect nails at home, all in one. There's no guessing. There's no messy nails, no salon price tag, and it's a perfect gift. And now you can get 20% off your first Manny system with our code BEST. So your new nail life is here, or your mom's new nail life, or your sister, or your best friend, or your coworkers, or your Secret Santa's new nail life is here. Get 20% off your first Manny system when you use promo code BEST at oliveandjune.com. Guys, we're all done with expensive bad Manny's. This is the new us now, okay? Foria. Guys, you've heard us talk about Foria. You know how much we love it. You've heard us talk about how everybody should have amazing orgasms.
I mean, what is not to love about orgasms?
Especially people who have vulvas, vaginas.
That's you and me.
Exactly.
And a lot of you.
What is Foria? Who is Foria? Foria is a company. They make all natural and plant-based products that intensify sexual pleasure and relieve discomfort.
Yeah. Arousal oil,
Sex oil. They're products that they're made to help women and people with vulvas fully experience their sexual pleasure, from heightened orgasms to more sexual comfort. Get on that website and read the real testimonials, please. Because some of them
so
are
entertaining.
so wild. And I'll just say, personal experience, I'm a believer.
Yes, we've both used it. We both love it. Just so you know, like their bestseller is Awaken Arousal Oil, and you're like, what is that? It's like, it's a warm up that helps you get turned on. It increases your pleasure and deepens your orgasms. I mean, it has CBD in it and also a warming, sensation-inducing,
And
organic botanical.
Yes.
We love it warm down there.
You want it warm down there, but also that Casey and I are both real sensitive babies.
Yes.
And we have real sensitive skin. And if this is a product that works for us and also does no such thing to irritate in any way, shape, or form, only has made me feel better.
Yes.
I use the relief suppositories premenstrually now.
Yes,
I love them.
Yeah.
I die for them. I love them. I have gifted this to people and changed their lives. So I'm just saying to you right now, the Foria's Awaken Arousal Oil and the Sex Oil are the perfect combo for peak pleasure. You have our permission to try this. We fully endorse you to go ahead, treat yourself to a present.
Yes.
The present of more, deeper, fuller pleasure whenever you can find it, as often as possible. You start with a bottle of Foria. Foria is offering a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first order by visiting foriawellness.com/best or use code BEST at checkout. That's FORIA wellness.com/best for 20% off your first order. Our recommendation, get the Awaken Arousal Oil and the Sex Oil, and then go write an insane review.
Please, for us.
For us. So, Cricket's, I think, a little bit been, like, Cricket's very sensitive, and it's been a little bit rough. I had kind of a rough, last week was rough, I think, all around for everybody. Obviously for you, clearly.
It was rough. And I think, just going off of, seeing other people, and even how people, on social media, I felt like were speaking to me, and, it just seemed like everybody was going through something. So, yeah.
I know. And then the tornadoes, that's fucking insane. That's devastation. I can't.
That was after everything. And that is that's horrifying. I mean, that's it's like a horror movie. And I can't wrap my head. Do you understand? I cannot wrap my head around it. It is so horrifying to me. Well, I think it's that's not something that, growing up on the East Coast and living on the West Coast.
West Coast, yeah.
That's not something that I have experienced. Just in that trip that we took, just like a road trip to Minneapolis, I saw so many types of weather that I had not really seen in my lifetime.
God.
And I've been all over the country, but never just an extended trip on the road to see the fierce thunder, lightning, flash flooding, all of that happened just on our trip. And that seemed like a pretty mild trip. So these tornadoes that people were saying were record breaking, touched down and traveled for record breaking amount of miles, just in a time of year when they're not even common to have serious tornadoes like that. It just, and then to see, to hear the stories of people working in factories and what they were told about, about staying in their place of work when I'm sure they were all terrified.
Anyway, it was heavy, weird energy. Things were weird.
Yeah.
Didn't help that my brain was going to explode and your boob was about to explode. But I do think things have changed, turned the corner, whatever. Okay, but anyway, so Cricket's kind of been having a rough time. Cricket and I have been having a weirdly rough time, which is not usual for us, and it's been hard on me. I need to do some more Hoffman stuff because it's hard for me to not take it personally.
Yeah,
and I know that that's the key of kind of the key of parenting, right?
Yeah, but it's really hard not to take it personally sometimes too.
It's
because
really fucking hard. Yeah.
You're a person.
It's really hard.
And then you're riding the line between for me, this is just for me and not that you asked, but I always wanted my children to be able to express themselves and express their feelings. But it was also very important for me to let them know that I'm a person and I'm your mom, but I'm also a person. Right. I do have feelings. And so just the same that as your feelings get hurt when things happen. And I want you to tell me about that. Sometimes when this gets a little rough at home, my feelings also get hurt. So sometimes I might be sad about the way that you're treating me, or I might need a minute to gather myself and cool off, So it's hard because it's hard not to take it personally because you're a person. Even though it's your kid and you love them and they're a little kid and they obviously don't have control of their emotions the way that they will one day. Still.
Yeah. And I think like Cricket was dealing with a lot because, when Cricket and Mark have been spending a ton of time together in the last, I would say like 6 months kind of.
Yeah.
Because even when we were in LA, like I was really with Birdie on set,
Yeah.
And so Cricket's like very attached to her dad right now.
Yeah.
That's another thing, guys, without kids or if you have like babies or whatever at home, like your kids go through seasons with parents where they will be very attached to one parent for a period of time, all about that one parent, and then it'll flip and you like never kind of know if it's sometimes it's developmental, sometimes it's like situational, sometimes whatever it is, and they like, and what I'm talking about is like the grace of like being a good parent is that in the moment when it flips and your kid is like less interested in you, more interested in the other parent, and the other parent is able to like give them that attention, that you're not like bummed because that just like creates codependency, because like they need to see that like they're free to go have relationships with other people. That's like where they're first kind of like exploring it, I think, kind of, right? Like
I would think so. Yeah. I mean,
and you don't want to make them feel bad about like wanting to have special time with somebody else.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But so anyway, my point being, Cricket's been having a hard time. Those fucking snow babies, God damn it. Cricket loves the snow babies.
I know, and her favorite one broke.
She's my mother's granddaughter. Yeah. She's the one that loves the snow babies. And the one broke, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, I don't know, last week, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, someday last week, while you were like sobbing at the radiologist, my mother called and was like, well, busy. Okay, so the snow baby should be arriving tomorrow or the next day. And I was like, oh my God, thank God, Mom, that's amazing. You found it. That's so great. Thank God. Okay. And she's like, yep. So make sure you look for it. It's at that, the 24th Street. I was like, the apartment we moved out of 2 months ago?
Oh.
And my mom was like, well, yes. And I was like, Mom, why would you send something to a place that I moved out of 2 months ago? You listen to the podcast. You talk to me daily. Why would you send something to a place that I don't live? And my mom's like, well, that's the address I had, busy. And I was like, Mom, you text my assistant, Raymond, 17 times a day about other things. I was like not kind about it, kind of. I was like, this was over text, but I was like kind of being a jerk about it because I was just like, why the fuck would you send anything to a place I moved out of 2 months ago?
Yeah.
It was a mistake, obviously.
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes. I was being a jerk. I was stressed out. You take it out on your mom, even if you're 42. But so then I was just like, okay, I was like, Mom, I'm sorry. Like, of course, I should have given you the new address. And also I just got a P.O. box now.
Yeah.
That packages can go to because that's just safer.
Yeah.
For me, in the future. Yeah. And then my realtor texted me and I was like, I'll try to see if I can make it over there. I have Cricket and I don't really have help. I'll try to see if I can make it over there on Saturday and pick it up. I couldn't figure it out on Saturday. I was like a mess. I had other things happening. It was a mess. I was a mess.
Sure.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And my realtor texted me, hey, I got a text from the selling, whatever, one of the realtors from the house. I guess there are some packages for you at the old place. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Okay, yes. I'll go tomorrow sometime and get them on Sunday. And Sunday, Cricket and I tried to get Cricket out of the house. It was fucking freezing. I had to go get that COVID test. I walked. Cricket really wanted Shake Shack for lunch. I walked Cricket to Shake Shack, and for whatever reason, the one in Madison Square Park was closed.
It was probably too cold at the little stand.
Yeah, but they built little igloo things for people.
I don't know.
I was beside myself because Cricket was getting to the point where it was the point of no return.
Yeah.
We passed an Arby's though that was also closed, and Cricket was like, Arby's, they have the meats, but not today because they're closed. And it made me laugh really hard. And then we walked, I was like, well, I have to get this COVID test. And I was so out of it. Like my brain doesn't work right when when I have all of this pus inside of my head or whatever infection in there. We walked to the COVID place that is set up through my work to test at, and the line was like literally out the door and wrapped around the side of the. I was like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah.
So then I was like, "Let's just eat outside at this restaurant, Cricket. Let's just." And she like freaked out. Like that was not the plan. She wanted fucking Shake Shack.
Right.
So I was like, I guess we're just walking home. My point being, I didn't make it to the house until much later that afternoon.
Right.
I found I had this girl that I used to work out with at LecFit, who I ran into on the street like a year ago, came and sat with Cricket for
that's good.
A little
nice
bit
of her.
She's cute. She's like a kid. She's like, she's not, she was like a kid when I would do LecFit with her. She was in high school. And then she went to college. She just graduated from college. And I ran into her and I was like, if you ever want to babysit, she's like, I love babysitting. I'm like, great. Hey, can you come over? I have to go get a COVID test and pick up packages. So I go to the old rental house that I like, that we had to, that we unceremoniously, in my feelings, were kicked out of.
Yeah.
After we had an agreement to stay there until the new house was ready.
Right.
And then they sold it and they were like, you have 3 weeks to get out. Bye.
Ugh, yeah.
I have nothing against the new owners. It's not their fault.
No, yeah, of course. They didn't know.
How would they know?
Yeah.
She's very sweet, this woman, and they are from China.
Okay.
And she was very sweet. And so I open the door, or I knock on the door, she opens it, and there are all these like tons of packages. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, no, we just moved in. And I was like, oh, okay. Cool. Like, great. Well, congratulations. I liked this house. It was nice for me to live here. And she's like, I have a few packages for you that are really big. And then yesterday, 2 came from UPS. And I just returned to sender because I didn't know if we were going to be able to get a hold of you. Those were the fucking snow babies.
Oh, no.
Okay. So hopefully the snow babies, UPS, make it back to my mother.
If anyone from UPS is listening.
Because it'll be a Christmas miracle. I don't fucking know where those snow babies are. But so she pulls, did I tell you about this weird scam that was happening to Mark for a while?
No.
Mark somehow we can't figure out what this scam is, and Amazon kind of couldn't either, but he like had to cancel his credit card and like cancel his account and all this stuff and like open new things. But basically like stuff would arrive that no one ordered.
Okay.
And it's the most random shit. Like toeless yoga socks. Okay, in like a little package, or like LED Grinch hologram machine,
so
like these
weird.
things. And there's no like Amazon wouldn't have any. It was like no one could help figure out where they were coming from or why.
That's so weird.
or who was like, so it was almost like this scam was, I don't know, maybe like the companies or something wanted to sell the stuff, like a bunch, maybe it's like, I literally don't know.
Yeah, that seems, I feel like I've heard of similar things.
Because we couldn't even return the stuff to Amazon.
Right.
Because they're like, they don't know.
Yes.
It was like from a ghost account.
Right.
Using a credit card and Mark's Amazon thing.
Right.
Like address.
Right.
But he had to cancel it all, ultimately. Because we spent like months trying to figure it out. So anyway, the bottom line is this lady had like 6 of those packages. And I was like, oh, Jesus, more of this junk, which we just end up donating because you can't even return it.
Right.
So she had like 6 of these random Amazon packages.
Oh my God.
And then she had a package from like a PR company that Ray's like, oh shoot, I need to I'll email those people and tell them that that's not your address anymore.
Yeah.
And then a box from Goldbelly, a giant box from Goldbelly. Now,
how long had it been sitting there?
Casey, I was looking furiously for a date on it. I mean, I wasn't going to leave it with this lady like to throw out. So she didn't know what it was. And they just moved in, right? It didn't smell. So I was like, well, that's good news. At least it's not like smoked salmon, right?
Right.
I couldn't tell what it was. And it was a gift from someone.
Okay.
So I went and got my car because I was like, this stuff is too big for me. This is too much stuff. And I didn't even get the fucking snow babies. But she was so nice. And then I was like, can I just give you my phone number? And if anything ever comes, can you just text me? And then this is the best part. She's like, sure. And so I put my phone number in her phone and then I handed it back to her. And she said, and wait, tell me your name. And I said, it's Busy. And she goes, oh, like Busy Phillips, the actress?
She's a big fan of you.
I don't think she's a big fan. Yeah. I think she literally just was like, oh, like Busy Phillips, the actress.
Yeah, had her. Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
I'm her.
That's me.
Sure. Yeah.
And then she started laughing like hysterically. And it like I think it hadn't occurred to her.
Your name must have been on the packages.
My name isn't really on packages.
Okay. All right.
Because we normally I don't have my name on them.
Right. Got it.
If they're going to like a residential house place. The P.O. box can do, I can get whatever. Who cares? But no, I mean, it doesn't, normally it's like an initial and then, I mean, whatever. It's like other names or,
Yeah.
So that was funny. Got my car. She helped me with the pack. I was like, please don't help me. You're so kind. This is too nice. I'm sorry that this shit was in your house. And meanwhile, I'm like, what the fuck is in this Goldbelly box? So I started dying, like, just what am I even going to do with it? It was gigantic.
Yeah.
The box was gigantic. So then I drove over to the COVID testing place, got my test. There was no line, thankfully. And then I went back here to where we're currently staying to unload the packages. And trash day was Monday. So like people had already put the trash out on the curb.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, well, this is good. Then I guess I can just like do the Goldbelly thing, go upstairs, get a trash bag. Cause you can't just put like random stuff on the curb. You have to like put it in a bag.
Yeah.
I'll bring some packages upstairs. I'll grab a trash bag. I'll come back downstairs. But I was talking to Ray on the phone because I was telling him the story because this has been like a whole ordeal about like the packages and whatever.
Sure.
And the snow babies. And
yeah.
And he's like, well, what is it? I was like, I'm going to open it. I want to see what it is. So I open it up and he's like, just make sure you tear off your name and just make sure it's like, nothing says it's you, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I look at it and then I open it up and it was for Thanksgiving.
Okay. So
that was a minute ago.
Yeah. It was a while.
And it was a gift from, I think, Goldbelly and some PR company or whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was from Carlo's Bakery, Buddy, the baker.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Buddy,
and
the
so
last
it was like, Yes.
The Cake Boss.
The Cake Boss. Exactly. Thank you. I could not remember the name of that show. So it was like this really intense holiday cookie tray. And I was a little bit like, do those go bad? Holiday cookie? I mean, it's like it's so much butter.
Stale,
it's in a cooler.
Yeah.
And there was dry ice around the cooler that had long since died. So it was like a cookie tower, and then there was some other stuff, and I was like not going to dig in to like there was a cake and something in a box and like a pie or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'm not doing it. So I put it on parked my car on the street, put the box down behind my car, grabbed the rest of my packages, closed my car, locked it, whatever, went into my apartment building, put the packages down, grabbed a trash bag, came back, the box is gone. Someone took the rotten treats. Someone absconded with the rotten treats, Casey.
I mean, someone shouldn't have stolen your treats.
Rotten treats.
But I will say, like, I don't know. Cookies.
Okay. My biggest fear was that somebody was going to get like food poisoning from my rotten treats.
Well, but they're also like it's a conundrum, right? Because they're like a thief.
I know, but maybe they were
very hungry.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. But I know it's a total conundrum. There's been so many of these TikToks going around of people that dumpster dive and like how they're like, oh, this food could feed so many people, but then people are like, but don't donate that food because like, you know, if you want to take that risk yourself or whatever, that's fine. But when you donate food, like people are counting on that the food is fresh and A-okay. But so it's a conundrum. Yours is like a similar conundrum. You didn't want to have made anyone sick, but also like, how could you know? Because you didn't. Here's my quick story. So when Matthew and I got married, we had like a rehearsal dinner that I skipped because I was working. And then we had our wedding, which was so much fun. And then the next day, because you don't get to visit anyone at your wedding, we had a brunch with friends and family and you know, just people that we were close to that we didn't get to see enough throughout the festivities.
Lots of people have brunches after their weddings. Yes.
And so I hope I'm telling this story right because I got married so long ago. But our friend Bob Richter, who Matt worked with back in the day, back in entertainment and PR, he's like a fancy antiques, like HGTV kind of guy. He hosts like,
ooh, hook me up.
Yes, you would love him. He's like so into vintage Christmas. It's amazing.
I love vintage Christmas.
I'll send you his Instagram because he's so great and I really love him so much. But he had gotten us, and I believe it was from India. We have it somewhere still in the house, a beautiful vintage cookie tin that was like, it was like a commercial cookie tin, but it was like from, I want to say, it had to have been probably from the 1950s, just looking at it. And he was like, beautiful cookie tin, wrapped it up, gave it to us, figured you can keep your like little doodads in it. And it's beautiful red.
Don't tell me there were cookies in
tin.
it. Don't tell me there were cookies in it.
I legit.
Don't tell me.
Opened it, loved it, set it down, was going about my brunch business, looked over, and my cousin was eating a cookie. And I was like, where did you get that cookie from? And he was like, from the tin of cookies.
No.
And I was like, those are cookies from the 1950s.
No.
And he was like, I was like, how are they? And he was like, I mean, they're not like the best cookies, but they're not bad. So anyway, here's my hope. My cousin's still alive. He's had 3 children since he ate that 50-year-old cookie, estimated carbon dated 50-year-old cookie, and he's fine. So hopefully whoever took your Gold Belly package is fine.
Okay. Well, I hope they are, and I hope that they aren't mad at me because I accidentally poisoned them. It also, though, can I tell you how fast it was? It was hilarious. Like, it was so funny.
Sure.
Because also Casey, when I tell you it was a gigantic box,
Yeah.
it was like I could not. The woman had to help me carry it.
Right.
It was huge. And like within 5 minutes of me going into my apartment building and coming back with a trash bag to dispose of it, gone. The whole thing. The box gone. The cooler inside gone.
Oh my God.
The moldy treats gone.
So whoever took it was pretty strong and hardy. And so hopefully they could like fight off whatever food poisoning they might have gotten from. But I don't think like an old ass cookie is gonna kill you. A pie maybe, but like hopefully you'd cut
Why
into
would a
it.
pie? How could a pie kill you? I'm serious.
like,
I'm just asking because
anything that's like wet, that has like a wetness to it, I think is probably more prone to getting mold and
what could you get,
things.
like botulism?
I don't know.
I literally have no, because you can get botulism from the side of cans, can't you?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's true. It's a rare and fatal and potentially fatal illness caused by a toxin produced by the bacterium Clostridium botulinum. If the person is listening and it begins with weakness, blurred vision, feeling tired, and trouble speaking. So you might have it right now.
That's rude. That's actually very rude. And you know what? Maybe I do. But
because isn't botulism what makes like cans puff out? Or that's what people are always like, don't get that puffy can.
Yes.
Oh, and it could be in honey. That's why we don't give honey to children younger than 1. But it's bacterial spores, not fungal spores.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's no joke, but it's also rare. You know,
Okay.
the treatment is receiving an antitoxin.
Ooh, that sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah. And or antibiotics in the case of botulism that has entered a wound that you have.
Ew.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the moral of the story is someone will steal a big ass box of old cookies, lickety split in New York City.
Yeah.
But hopefully they just ate what was good and were able to tell what was bad. And,
I hope so. And I also hope that it was enjoyable. But it also, just so they know, it really made me laugh. I was like really sort of bummed about the whole thing. And then it genuinely really made me laugh. Like, so stupid.
Oh my
to just come out and they were just gone. Like, really ridiculous. Anyway.
Oh, man. This is like also for sometimes people write in, they're like aspiring assistants in Hollywood or in business or whatever. I know it's overkill, but I learned this when I worked for Mr. David Letterman. When you are about to send something perishable, even if you are 100% sure that you have someone's address, double check it. I know it's hard because you're like sending out a million packages usually, especially at the holidays. But if your company is spending big bucks to send something perishable, you got to double check that address.
You got to double check that address.
And I will say that I've received mistaken perishables before for people. And I always go to like such extreme lengths to try to track the person down, because I feel like, wouldn't that be so sad if someone sent you like a nice gift and then they thought you were like a dick for not thanking them? And wouldn't you be so bummed out? Or if you were like expecting a gift from someone and it just never came, and I don't know. So anyway, I never like a big box of Gold Belly, but a big box of fruits. I have really used my detective skills to track down the rightful owner.
Oh my God. That's really nice of you.
Well, what else am I going to do with the internet?
Listen, I don't know. The internet can be used for good. Oh, wait. Should we get to the interview?
Sure.
I forgot. We've been talking for like an hour. Wait. So before we get to the interview, I obviously set it up that this is the show that Birdie's on with Love. And, I missed the premiere. We talked about it last week. And it it really like seemed like it all went off amazingly. And one thing I didn't say when we were talking to Gloria, I told you about the FaceTiming during Mark FaceTimed me so I could watch Birdie do the red carpet, which was so surreal and weird. And I was crying. And then also thinking about all the times my traveling, working moms out there are going to feel me, like how many things I have FaceTimed in with my kids and like how hard that is and how I hope someday they understand, you know, because it's really hard. But, you know, Birdie's not a main character on the show. They're in a couple episodes and they have a big part in a couple episodes, but that's it. So did I tell you this part already?
I don't know.
Did I tell you this?
I don't
I'm
know.
having deja vu.
Tell me, and then I'll tell you if you told me.
That Gloria, you know, they did it's the big premiere and it's in the auditorium and Gloria introduced the cast and they all come down front and everybody's cheering for them. And then apparently Gloria said, and introducing Birdie Silverstein, and called Birdie down front with the rest of the cast. And they felt, I think, like thrilled.
You did not tell me that. And that's great, of course. Gloria Calderón Kellett is amazing. She was the creator, showrunner of One Day at a Time, which we talk a little bit about in the interview, but also is the creator of this new show on Amazon with Love that you can watch starting Friday night. And we had a great time talking to her.
We had such a great time talking to her. Enjoy our discussions. Ooh, June Shine. We love you, June Shine. I really do love June Shine.
Yes.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like how light and refreshing it tastes, how I don't feel bloated after I drink it, and I don't feel gross the next day. I like that it's a little bit alcoholic and makes me feel like a little buzzy, but I'm not like knocked out.
Right.
by it.
I know. And I think that people are sometimes shy about kombucha because they think that they don't like that and that's not for them. But I think I encourage you to give June Shine a try because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how smooth and refreshing it is. And it just doesn't have that kombucha funk that you might not be a fan of.
Well, and they also have really good, creative, delicious flavors. I love the brand new prickly pear margarita. It's always smooth, very refreshing. And you don't feel full. You feel just like it's like a nice, light, bright buzz. And 3 grams of sugar, low carb, full of probiotics. And that is the thing that I love so much.
Yes. Yeah. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
Especially to a person like you who like your gut she doesn't always work so great.
She doesn't. She needs the probiotics. June Shine's also sustainably produced, 100% carbon neutral. Donate 1% of all sales to environmental nonprofits. Their brewery is powered by 100% renewable solar. They plant trees for all of the trees used to make their 6-pack boxes. I mean, honestly, it's a kind of amazing company. They make June Shine with real organic ingredients. And unlike other alcoholic beverages, they're transparent about every single ingredient they put into June Shine. If you haven't tried June Shine yet, guys, it's great for holiday gifting. It's great for at-home happy hour. It's great for like a brunch vibe.
Yeah.
It's great for dinner. I mean, it's great. I want you to try it. I really do.
They'll deliver it straight to your doorstep because they have nationwide shipping. So I love that.
So listen, guys, we've worked out a special offer for our listeners. Receive 20% off plus free shipping site-wide. We recommend trying one of their best-selling variety packs. You know, we love a variety pack because you get to taste all of the delicious flavors. Go to juneshine.com/busy or use code BUSY at checkout to claim the deal. That's JUNESHINE.com/busy. June Shine can also be found in over 10,000 stores across the country now, including Whole Foods, Safeway, Kroger, and Publix. But go to juneshine.com and use the code BUSY so that we get credit. Bite, bite, bite. Very, very into Bite toothpaste, guys. I love it. More importantly, my kids love it, which makes a thing that is historically in my home not easy for people to wrap their heads around.
My toothpaste drawer is just so much cuter and neater without that old tube of toothpaste. Like, it's so old to me now. I'm so over it. The waste, the mess.
Yeah. Most commercial toothpastes also are filled with harsh chemicals, artificial flavors, and preservatives. Like, it's not stuff that you want in your mouth or to accidentally swallow. Bite makes dry toothpaste tablets that are made with clean ingredients that are sulfate-free, which in my house is a very big deal.
Right.
So we have a couple sulfate allergies. They're palm oil-free and they're glycerin-free. It's super convenient. You pop a bite in your mouth, you chew it up, you start brushing. It turns into paste in your mouth like you're used to. There's no plastic tube and there's no messy paste. Guys, I'm telling you, my kids are obsessed with it. It doesn't have to be. The only reason why we're used to toothpaste is it's just because it's what's been the, in the norm. It was the norm.
Yeah, it's just what's available, but we don't have horse and buggies anymore. I mean, some people
and we're
do.
Doing great.
Yeah. But what I love about it is that, like, when you're traveling, when you're going somewhere for a couple days, you take like 4 little bits with you in your little bit tin, and that's it. You don't have to bring, there's no going through like airport security if you're doing that.
It's for sure. It saves space. It's like chic. It's chicer. Let's just be real. Little glass bottles. They look chic on your vanity.
Yes.
Truly, last night I was using Bite and I was using the floss, and I was like, my mouth was full of blood because I'm a bad flosser, guys. I'm a bad flosser.
You got to work on
And
it.
so I decided that my New Year's resolution, because I like these products, is that I'm going to get on my floss game and I'm going to like up my oral hygiene game with Bite, because I do think they make it so easy and convenient. You can brush your teeth basically anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm in. Join me. Why don't you join me?
I feel like that's a realistic and achievable resolution, and one that we should probably all have, because your oral health is really very important to your overall health.
Bite is offering our listeners 20% off your first subscription order. Go to trybite.com/best or use code BEST at the checkout to claim the deal. That's TRYBITE.com/best. Guys, do it for all of us. Are you exhausted?
You know what? Yes, but like, it's the best exhausted, right? It's like, that means we did it. It means we got to do a thing. It means we got to do a thing that we wanted to do. And now people want to talk about it. And how many years did we want people to talk about stuff that we were making? And now they're talking about it. So I'm not going to complain.
No.
You have a classic good attitude, Gloria Calderón Kellett.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, well,
She's always been like that too. Have you? Do you feel like you ever?
I'm classic, but I'm like classic immigrant kid. You know what I mean? Like, my parents left their homeland with a suitcase. Yeah. So like, try complaining in that house. Oh, really? Oh, did you leave your homeland? Did you leave your homeland? Did you have to leave everything and come with us one pair of pants and 2 shirts? It was today hard. Yeah. I mean, they didn't. They were so nice, but like, I knew it. Like, it was. Yeah. They were so smart. They were sneaky because I knew about it without them having to even say that.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I also think that's the best trick of parenting ever.
Oh, it's the best trick. How do we do it?
I don't know, because Birdie, my child, literally just looks at me and is like, Mom, how hard could it have been? And I was like, oh, I mean, kind of hard, Birdie, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, kind of hard.
Gloria Calderón Kellett. We haven't had a guest in many, many weeks because I've been too tired from doing my show.
You're busy from your TV show.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's like, honestly, you'll understand this. Like getting up the energy to talk to people you don't maybe know is a lot.
Listen, I love my family. Okay. But when I get home, no one talked to me. No one touched me, put me under a heavy blanket.
It's hard.
Seriously, no one touched me. Get away. I love them all. I want to hear the stories and I want to hang out. Like really my dream is like, come, like, let me take a bath and there's like a couch where everyone can sit and talk to me while I'm in the tub.
I don't know if you know this, Gloria, but Birdie oftentimes comes into my bath time and sits on the floor of the bathroom and talks to me.
But that's kind of my dream. Well, that's my dream. Do you need a minute? Do you need a minute where you're by yourself in there?
No, I like it.
It's my dream. I love it. I mean, the kids will sit on the floor, but like it's cold, it's cold marble floor. Like I need to really think about this and get a pillow situation in there.
You need one of those things like what are they called? Casey will know. They're like in old timey dressing rooms, and they're like it's
like
not a chaise,
like a chaise lounge. Oh,
no, it's not a chaise lounge. It's like a circular, like a big ottoman, but it has like a little.
Anderson Cooper has one in his house.
Really?
Is that too personal to say about Anderson Cooper's house?
I love that you know that.
Me too.
Now I'm picturing like Anderson taking a bath and you're just sitting on it talking.
Well, not in his bathroom, just in the out in the living area.
Well, Gloria, I won't make you talk. We won't make you talk for too long because also I was at work all day too. And I honestly don't know if I can talk for very long tonight because I'm on the East Coast.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. So you're like, good night.
Good night. I'm ready. I'm ready for bed. But guys, for those of you who don't know who Gloria Calderón Kellett is, she's our friend.
She's the best.
But she's much more than that. One of the greatest humans alive. A writer, producer, actor. I mean, what else do you do? Do you play music? I mean, you do everything. No, you really do everything.
Direct.
You direct, right? Okay, right. So you're writer, actor, producer, director.
So many threats.
Yeah,
Threat level orange.
Yeah, I would say that's correct. And Gloria's previous television show was One Day at a Time on a network, streaming network. And it was canceled before it was due to be canceled. Is that what you say? How do we say it? It was.
Too soon.
Prematurely. Yeah.
Prematurely. You guys see, thank you. You're going to have to give me some words tonight. And we loved the show so much. We were such huge fans of the show that we had you guys come on to the Busy Tonight talk show, and we spent the rest of our budget for that year and hired an airplane to fly over
that
Netflix
streaming service.
Yes.
Whatever. Service. To say
and it One Day at a Time. And we got to make some more episodes, and then the pandemic killed us all.
Well, listen, but now, the new show that's out this week, is it Thursday or Friday, babe?
Friday. It comes out Thursday. I mean, if you want to stay up at midnight, Friday. So like
it goes live.
Oh no, I'm gonna cry. I'm too emotional already. Gloria's new series is With Love. And it also happens to be, if you're a frequent listener of the pod, you probably know this. This is the series that my sweet birdie Silverstein is on a couple episodes of and had the best, most amazing time. And Gloria is just the greatest. You've been so sweet to my kid. But it's getting amazing reviews. The reviews are coming in. People are so excited. I was so sad that I couldn't be at the premiere. I FaceTimed with Mark while Birdie did the red carpet. Like he FaceTimed me so I could see Birdie doing the red carpet from my house. And I was like crying.
Oh, were you dying?
Yes. And it was so sweet. And I saw you and everybody looked so incredible. The premiere was last week and I was just really gutted that I couldn't go, but there's the greatest. It looked like you had a party at the premiere, like a real, true, you guys had the best time.
We had the best time. It was beautiful. I mean, Amazon spent money and it was gorgeous. And it just is so meaningful to see the support that we're getting from this streamer and how they understand the importance of what we're trying to do. So it meant a lot, not just to me, but I think to all of the actors there that have also are firsts for so many of these actors. Well, the first time their stories they're the center of the stories.
And what I love is because there was a great article in the USA Today, my mother's favorite paper, by the way. You have no idea. This is like the paper my mom loves the most. But I love that, they were talking specifically about representation. And what I love so much is hearing so many of the actors saying, like, it's not a story about representation. It's like people living their lives. Just people living their lives as people.
Isn't it crazy that exactly, like, it speaks to where we sort of are right now and how marginalized so many communities are in this country. And it's like these conversations have been needing to happen for hundreds of years. And finally, we're in a moment in time, thankfully, where we get to live during a time when these conversations are happening and that we can make the future better for, it's always, I think about my kids all the time. And I just want the world to be a nicer place for them, to be a more accepting place for them so that they can thrive with whoever they want to be and whoever they want to love. And we, as people who make creative, I hate saying content because it takes away the artistic zhuzh that's in there. But when we're making this art, the hope is that we're making people laugh or smile or making their day better. So if you can make their day better and have somebody see themselves for the first time, I told Birdie so many times over the course of the night, especially the more people gave me alcohol to drink, like, they're saving lives. They're saving lives. A representation that is supportive and loving should not be the rarity. It should be how we treat our children, how we treat one another, coming to each other with curiosity and kindness. And that's all they do. It's not brain surgery, asking questions and being curious, and it's also wrapped. I did this with One Day at a Time too. The sitcom is not cool. So it was like, how do I make this thing that's not cool, that people take dumps on all the time as being not cool? How do I tell real stories and try to treat it like an elevated play where we're talking about real things? And it just happens to be in the familiar package of a sitcom. And with this, it was the same thing. How do I take something that's in the familiar package of a romantic comedy and you look at it and you're like, oh, that looks like a Nancy Meyers movie, except that the people at the center of it are Black and brown and queer and Asian. And they are not the best friend. They don't come in to say one funny thing and leave. They all, even the side characters, all get a full story.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty of making it. And then, every episode is a different holiday. So you also get to see the progression of all of these characters over the course of a calendar year as they're living their lives and falling in love and having fights and figuring one another out. And it was just so joyful to make, especially after this pandemic where we were all left in this collective traumatic haze. And
did the idea of because there's 5 episodes and what do you start with, New Year's and end with what? How do you?
I start with Christmas Eve, which is Noche Buena for Latinos. Yeah, Christmas Eve,
and then you do
end with. I mean, really, the last episode is Dia de los Muertos, but we then we kind of circle back a little bit to Christmas Eve again. So it's really 1 year,
right? So was that an idea that came to you during the pandemic when you were like locked down with just your immediate family and you're like, I would really like to have like a big party? Yes. Like, how did that?
That was exactly it. I mean, my favorite thing at Christmas is good because also everyone's busy now, right? Like, I don't see anybody. I don't see my friend. I don't see anybody because of busyness. This is even pre-pandemic. We're all busy living our lives. And thankfully, so many of us are doing so many awesome things, barely get to see people. So you kind of see people at big events. like holiday parties. And at a Christmas party, my favorite thing is to come in and be like, oh my God, who's doing what's happening? Let's dish about everything that everyone's doing. It's your favorite. And so last year, this time, it was like another year where it's like, oh, right, we're going to be here again. And I love these 4 people so much. Boy, do I long for sitting and connecting and just being with other people. So exactly, Busy. Exactly. I wanted to sort of fill in the year that was lost and relive it with this family.
Well, obviously the representation of my own kids. Oh no, you guys, I can't. I don't even know. I can't even do this. I'm so emotional. And I haven't even seen it yet. But when I saw the scene that Glad posted on Trans Awareness Week of Birdie with Isis, who plays Saul on the show, another thing that I asked Gloria, Gloria reached out to me. You guys, you probably know this story. I'm going to recap. Gloria reached out to me. I'm doing a new series. We have, everyone's represented in the writer's room. And we have a character that's going to have a non-binary teen. Is there any chance your kid acts or would want to audition for this? And I, even though I've known Gloria since I was a kid, since we were in college together, I was like, why don't you send me the scripts and we'll take a look at it when they're ready? Because, Gloria, even though I love you and trust you and love one day at a time, you just don't fucking know.
You don't know. You don't know. And it's your kid. Oh, believe me, with kid, I get it. Same.
And then we get these scripts and I'm like, oh my God, this isn't just, as you say, put in there to be an issue. That was the biggest deal for Birdie and for me. It does sort of work within their relationship together as they're getting to know each other. It is a part of them getting to know each other, but it's not the problem that people have to deal with. And what? I don't even understand pronouns. You know what I mean? That fucking bullshit. And when Birdie and I laid in their bed and read it together, and Birdie looked at me and was like, it's this is it. I mean, I knew because Birdie was the biggest One Day at a Time fan of all time, which was really awkward when Todd Grinnell plays Birdie's dad, and Birdie was a big fan. It was really cute, fanning out. But is that a thing? I know that on One Day at a Time, as you just really beautifully explained, you're how do we make this real and cool? And so you sort of wove in all of these real people and real stories and weren't making issue-based storylines. Right. You were just making storylines about people living their lives. But how did that come to be the thing that you just inherently were drawn to? Is it because of your own underrepresentation of your own communities? Is it where is it? Where is that stemming from? Because you've worked in television literally since we were children.
Yeah, when we were mere babies. So yeah, I mean, it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years of being in TV. I think it was my first thing. It's funny. The journey of me wanting representation started with female roles. When we were in college and we had to do a monologue.
Yep.
Do you remember trying to find a good monologue for women?
Yeah, there was just the one about the girl that gets from suburbia or whatever.
There was also the Paula Vogel one where she's molested by her uncle in the car. I feel there were two. Yeah. How I learned to drive and what. So it's there was no, so it's wait, there's nothing for women. There's not what? So it started with women. Then it was then as you and Linda and all of us were trying to get agents and stuff. Every agent just wanted me to send me out for Gangbanger's Girlfriend and Gangbanger's Sister. Wow. No joke.
Yeah.
So I'm wait, can I just go? But my friends are going out for these. No, you are going in for the gang. So I wouldn't get the gangbanger role because they're oh, well, she's too white. Is she not Latina? No, she's 100. I'm 100%. Yo sí puedo hablar español. I could I am Latina, but I'm American. So I don't, this is what I sound like. And it was crazy. So then I was oh, okay. So now there's this other problem, which is this thing that I have to rectify. So I started writing plays and putting up plays. And then as I started doing this work and being really intentional about the type of stuff that I wanted to make, I would be on panels with people from various communities that were also disenfranchised. And I would hear their stories and it was familiar. It was like, oh my God, that's how I feel about my community. Can we link arms? Can we like hold hands and walk this path? And that felt like the way to do it. And for one day at a time, we had a lot of queer characters on that show, but it's a multi-cam sitcom. So they come in for an episode because it's really about your main people.
Right.
And so while Elena had her coming out journey, because for Latinidad, there wasn't a lot of, it's the youngest coming out story in history at the time. I think Disney had Andy Mack, which was a little bit younger, but that came out after us. So there was doing that, which was great. But then it's like, how do you evolve that conversation? Oh, it all has to be baked into the show.
Right.
So for this one, it was just far more intentional. It was also just representative of my life. I have more than one queer person in my family that's out now. That's an adult cousin, right? Like nobody cares anymore. Anybody who was traumatized 15 years ago or an uncle or aunt who was weird about it, nobody cares now. So I wanted to what does that look like? Let's model that for people. Because when we go to events, nobody cares. And for our kids, they really don't care. I mean, my son was like, God shouldn't be a he. If anything, God's non-binary. Yeah, you're right.
By the way,
it's not hard for them. It's not hard for them to do this at all. So in the creation of the show, it was like, okay, I need to just bake it in. I need to have a trans person at the center. I need to have a gay couple in the center, but none of it's going to be about trauma. None of it. Trauma was in the rearview mirror. And this is about joy and thriving and love and what that looks like so that kids can watch and say, oh, that also exists in the world. That's good to know.
That's it.
Right.
That's fucking everything. This is the conversation that Casey and I have had for so long, which is that, I think that everybody calls this the golden age of television. And I guess if you can afford it, you know, and it's just, we're not getting, I don't know. I think that that television as an art form at its best does exactly what you're doing now, Gloria, with all of your shows, which is like showing us, reflecting the real world back at us, but also showing us how it also can be for everyone and how it should be for everyone. Like inclusive and diverse and interesting and not just about those things, about like the real shit, like what your emotions are, what you're going through and your family.
How you feel about stuff. And I think, that interestingly, and Amazon was so great. Creatively, they were so awesome and really supported me. But one of the notes they gave me early on was, hey, nowhere in the pilot do you say that Soul is trans. And I said, yeah, because I don't, hi, trans cousin.
Right.
It comes up in episode 3 because it's organic to the story. But I don't think we need to bring it up before that, because let the audience just see them as a human person.
Yes. Yes.
And, and we'll talk about it as we need to talk about it.
Yes.
And that was so lovely. And Soul was, Isis was so appreciative of how we dealt with all of that, because we had obviously in the writer's room, but then we also had people, the actors on set. I love the collaboration with the actor. I love so much that Isis feels so seen in Soul, and that Birdie felt so seen with Charlie,
so seen.
I loved what you said about not, just letting the audience see Soul as a person first for so long, because I think while we hear so many stories of how representation is so important to people that are underrepresented, I think representation is so important for everyone else to see as well. Mm-hmm. Because I'm seeing a character and falling in love with them and feeling empathetic toward them, and then realizing that maybe what they're representative of is something that I'm not familiar with or haven't seen or have been ignorant about. And that is, that's how... TV is how I learned anything I know, So, stretching back to historical themed cartoons or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
stretching back to the episode of Facts of Life where they accidentally buy a bong.
Yes. I mean,
do you remember that episode?
Yeah.
I remember when Natalie lost her virginity to Snake. I remember.
Right. Yes.
Like
Mindy
kind of traumatizing, by the way.
It was
We love
kind
you.
of traumatizing. It kind of legit traumatized me because they a little bit sex shamed her. I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
we can do a whole sidebar, but yes, all
Also,
of that.
Yeah, all of that. And I'm sure all of these episodes with things like this, they were in the past, they were treated as like a very special episode.
Yeah.
You're going to be devastated. I remember the episode of Different Strokes where,
Oh God, the molestation
bike
one.
shop,
The
the bike shop.
yes, the bike shop. And it was
Worst.
and like seeing it, I was whatever. I'm not going to get too deep here, but that was something that I needed to see. And now as an adult, like parsing it, like it couldn't have happened to one of the main characters. It had to have happened to a side character so that we could like neatly dispense with it, solve it, pack it up, and move on to the next funny episode with the funny main characters. But that being said, I'm glad even that existed in the past. So now I'm so glad that you're talking about this evolution of representation, because I just think it's important for everyone to see, because I think that's like the main issue is that we're ignoring each other's humanity.
Absolutely. And it's still like, it's interesting to be having, I've been having these conversations now. Like I've never talked so much about being Latina that I have in the last 5 years.
Are you Latina?
Happy to do it. Happy to do it. But it is fascinating. And even some of the early press, which was, beautiful press, but it's like Gloria Calderón Kellett's Latinx comedy. It's like, it's a rom-com. I mean, yes, they're Latino, but you don't say like Reese Witherspoon's new white Caucasian rom-com. Like, so by giving it any sort of qualifier, even LGBTQ rom-com, it's like you're giving it a qualifier that makes it seem like it maybe is not for everyone. Whereas all of this is for everyone.
You're making me want to become an entertainment journalist so I can say Reese Witherspoon's new white Caucasian
show
lady.
I mean, it's insane. Right?
Rom-com.
So we don't do that.
True.
We don't do that. So these are characters that you're going to like that happen to be from different communities, happen to not be the same faces you've seen again and again and again.
But by the way, I texted Gloria. I was like, my God, the day after the premiere. I mean, I was getting all these pictures and whatever. And I got Birdie and Mark. I think Mark sent me one of the like all of you guys together. And I was like, my God, did you assemble the most beautiful cast of people? Like,
I know.
What
they are so
the
beautiful.
heck?
I know.
So you could say, you could tell the reporters, like Gloria Calderón's Kellett's new rom-com filled with beautiful people.
Sure.
Yeah, just everybody's just
they are all beautiful. But by the way, that even speaks to, I mean, that was sort of accidental. They were all just really beautiful and wonderful. But it's funny that Isis, pulled me aside and was like, hey, next season, it would mean a lot to me if, because Sol is a doctor, that they would work within the trans community, helping people that are not passing, because Isis is one of the most beautiful women she's so beautiful. I mean, and she goes by she, they.
Stunning.
She's so beautiful, but people don't think that she's a trans woman. And so she really wants to show that this looks many different ways.
Yes.
And one of the writers in the room is also pushing forward, like we should have some people of different sizes. And I was like, well, I gained a lot during COVID, so I'm going to be that representation this season. The double-digit sizes I'm representing.
Listen,
good.
But also, Gloria, I do want to say, because a friend of mine at work is non-binds. That's what we call it in my household, non-binds. And I showed them the trailer or the clip of Isis and Saul and Charlie Birdie's character talking that was released, because I was at work when it came out and I was so excited. And they got emotional. Like this is a young person, like I think early 20s, emotional, and was like, can I tell you what's so cool? I have so many like sort of femme presenting non-binary friends who've like literally never seen that. Your kid, like what your kid is representing, like I've never seen that. Like, do you understand how cool that is? Because a lot of people do get this like one very specific idea of what it means to be trans, what it means to be non-binary, what it means to be, you know, like any number of labels that you can like stick. And really it's like, this is just, we're just all people, guys. We are all people, you know? Right. So I think that there's representation that's happening in lots of different directions.
Yeah,
you know,
so many different presentations and opportunities to present different presentations. And I also think it's good because I think, again, like people that might be less familiar, I think there is a level of, hopefully there is a level of curiosity. And by curiosity, I mean, I want to know about this because I want to be a caring, understanding person. And I think this will be so helpful because it is a tricky subject. You know what I mean? You don't want to mess it up. You don't want to mess it up. You don't want to harm someone. So to be able to get like an education through an entertaining, beautiful TV show is such a gift.
It really is.
Well, thanks. I mean, that's the hope. The hope is it does start those conversations, and it does also allow, I think there's also, you know, we all know people who are trying versus not, right? And I think there needs to be a gentleness in the trying and the, you know, my language is so gendered, you know, that it's something I have to talk about a lot with the group. Cause I'm like, hey guys, is guys okay? And, you know, and they're like, Gloria, guys is fine. Like, guys is enough. Okay. But, you know, when you're talking to somebody non-binary and you say, guys, you really, I'm like, oh no, did I? Right. Oh God. And I'm so sorry if I misgender it, you know. Oh, and everyone's so lovely. Like they know I'm trying so hard that they're like, it's fine, Gloria, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But, you know, we do it all the time with man. I'm telling you, I do it all the time. Man, guys, like
yes.
We have such gendered ways of speaking. And it's a good way to just look at language and how language evolves. And we can there's things that we grew up saying that we don't say anymore.
That's right.
Isn't that cool? And we can do it and it's okay. We can do it. We can learn to not say certain things anymore.
It's true.
Okay.
Since the early 2000s, Gloria, I've been calling everyone girl and lady, which I know isn't the right thing either. But just at some point I was like, everyone says dude, guys, and man. And I was like, I'm just going to call everyone like, hey, lady, what's going on? And like 99% of people didn't care and thought that it was silly. And I was just being silly. But it shocked me how many times people were like, why did you just call me that? And then I was like, oh my God, imagine if anyone ever called me dude. And I was like, why are you saying that to me? Like, it's so interesting how deeply ingrained that pattern is.
I'm trying to swap it out. I'm really trying to start with y'all more, but then people are like, are you trying to be Southern? I'm like, no, but it's nice because it's so all inclusive. You know, hey y'all, what's up? I like people. Hey people. I love saying love. Hey love. I love love. Love is probably my favorite one. Hey love. So nice to see you, love. Love is a good one.
Love. Okay, can I just be real? Wait, Gloria, for some reason, that one makes me think that you just don't remember the person's name.
I was going to say, I used to work with a lady that called us all love and darling, and she was Southern, and we were like, 6 years in, she does not know our names.
Yeah, she just doesn't know our name.
But she was so cool, no one cared, and it felt good to be called darling by her.
I don't know, like, I gotta think about this. I'm not ready to give up guys.
I know, it's good.
Guys. Like so my thing.
Too. I mean, it's hard. It's hard, but like, let's try. Let's try. Let's try to do it. Let's try. Hey, everybody,
people. I don't like it. I don't like it when people say peeps. I don't like peeps,
folks. But then I feel like I'm President Obama, folks.
Yeah, that's a little folksy.
What's up, party people? What's up, party people? Oh, come on.
Well, guys,
I mean, it's a little. We can pull that off.
Everybody listening, if you've got some great suggestions, cats. Hey, cool cats. Cats and kittens.
You know, I kind of like cool cats. I call me a cool cat.
Hey, cats.
Hey, cool cat.
Hey, kittens.
I like to call everyone. I call everyone team.
Ooh, you do team. Call people team. I've been there.
Hey, team.
Hey team, what's going on? Okay. I mean, we could just come up with some things.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's come up
Emily
with some
Beebe,
things.
my best friend Emily Beebe and I used to call each other pup, like P-U-P,
Oh,
pup.
that's cute. Hey, pup.
Hey pups.
That's
Pups is kind of cute.
See?
Yeah. We have a lot of options for the listeners today.
We're going hard.
We're doing
okay,
it.
so Gloria, I want to, we talk about pivots on this show, and obviously you kind of like came into wanting to be, I'm curious. By the time I met you, sorry, I need to start over. By the time I met you in college when I was a freshman, and I think you were graduating ish around then.
Yes.
You were already like, I'm going to perform and write and I'm going to do all of these things in entertainment. And was that always the goal?
No, I think you may have witnessed that occurring.
Really?
Yeah. Because I also didn't know anybody in this industry. So I thought growing up, I thought actors made up the words. I didn't know that there, I don't think I knew what it was. So it wasn't really until Loyola, and I had such a fortuitous experience at LMU because I signed up for an intro to drama class, okay, my freshman year at Loyola. And I went to the little theater and I walked in and I said, is this intro to drama? And Linda was sitting there and she goes, yes. So I sat down to Linda and she was like one of the first people I met.
Linda Cardellini. Linda Cardellini.
So I realized after that class, I sat in the class and I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything I wanted college to be. And we were doing all these amazing acting exercises. And I was so obsessed. As I leave, I realized it was an intro to theater class. Intro to drama was upstairs. You know that bit where the little theater was in the back, Busy?
Yeah, of course.
There you go up those side stairs and there were classrooms above that theater.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be up there in an intro to drama class. And
that was the class that was like intro to drama was like for kids who weren't theater majors.
Not theater majors. And they were like studying text, not performing.
Oh my God.
So it was like this magical thing. And I loved that class so much. And that's when I was like, there's writers are a thing. Like these plays were written by people and their plays rights. And now I notice when I'm watching written by, of course, I was always singing the song. I wasn't paying attention to the credits, and you don't know what produced by, you don't know what any of that stuff means. So I was already sort of getting an inkling. And then as we were doing these plays, my senior year, I was in, Odd Couple. I was in the Odd Couple, female version of the Odd Couple. You remember this?
Cool.
Do you remember?
I don't. Yes, I think
up?
Yes.
Diane Benedict directed it.
Yes.
And it was my final thing at Loyola. So every night I would punch up the lines and I'd get laughs. And one day after one of our professors, Ron Morosco, came up to me and he was like, Gloria, if you think that you're funnier than Neil Simon, then you should be a playwright. And I was like, maybe I should. and I wrote my first play that then went to ACTF, and that's it. All kind of went from there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was like, maybe I can do this too. Maybe I could direct this stuff too. Man, all of that was really coming together my senior year as I was about to graduate. But then I graduated and I was like, oh no, I found all of this stuff 6 months before I finished college. I wasted college. Like, you think the world ends
when you're that age. Yeah.
So I applied to grad school. So I went to the University of London for grad school and I just immersed myself in theater. I read every play I could get my hands on. I wrote like 11 plays when I was in London. I won 4 writing awards when I was in London.
Oh my God.
And it was, it was great. I won the International Student Play Script Competition that Alan Ayckbourn, who's like the Neil Simon of England. Alan Ayckbourn's like written he's like literally like Neil Simon for the UK. I had tea with him because he gave me the award. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Oh no, I can't leave England. And I finished my master's program and they were like, bye. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm back to LA where nobody cares. Because in LA, you say you're an actor or a writer and they're like, what restaurant do you work at? In the UK, you say you're an actor and writer and they say, what drama school did you go to? Like, it's just a different way of looking at this art. Right. And then I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. I got to figure this out real quick. Now that I'm back here and I know that I want to do some version of this mishmash of stuff.
Okay. So then what happened?
I put up plays. I got the agent. I mean, I did extra work on, I remember once I visited you and Linda on Freaks and Geeks because I was an extra.
I remember that. I actually remember.
You guys took me to like whatever the little lunch place was and I felt so fancy.
Yes, I remember.
And I was just studying. I was on that set, like looking around going, okay, this is what that person's doing. Okay, this is what that's person. Okay. I was just sort of biding my time. And
Mark was also an extra when he was in film school, grad school. Yeah, at USC.
It's a great way to, it's its own thing. There's like extras that are like lifers. They're like no joke. But if you're there to kind of look and observe and you stay out of people's way, you can learn a lot on a set. Yeah. For me, it was great. I only did it 5 or 6 times, but I thought it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, he did it for a summer at USC. Yeah,
I did it for I did it for that summer. And then in the interim was going on auditions that were consistently, maybe a prostitute, but mostly it was gangbanger's girlfriend and gangbanger's sister. It was never like teacher, student in the school, or never. And so I was like, all right, I know how to put up these plays. I did this in London because in grad school, we put up a play a week and put them in different parts of the theaters in Goldsmiths where I went to grad school. So I was like, I know how to do this. I can do this. So I found out that the Hudson Avenue Theater on Santa Monica Boulevard, they are dark on Monday through Wednesday. They have a show Thursday through Sunday. So I went in there and I was like, what's happening in here Monday through Wednesday? They're like, nothing. I'm like, can I rent it Monday through Wednesday? They're like, yeah. So then I found out Backstage West and LA Weekly will review a show if it has a 6-week run. So I said, okay, scratch that. I want 6 Tuesdays in a row. And they're like, okay, there's a set in there. I'm like, I don't care. I'll put a light on in front of the stage. Okay. So I wrote these monologues. I cast the monologues. I directed the monologues. I produced. My husband, who's a cartoonist, drew the pictures. I went to all my favorite charities and gave them free tickets to opening night. I gave the actors free tickets to opening night. So the opening night, we have a packed audience that no one has paid. No one's paid. And I only had to pay like $200 for the theater because there's a set. It's like so podunk, but it's lights and 2 black boxes and that's it. And the rest of the run, you guys, line around the block. Wow. And that's why my agent, my manager, everybody was from those plays. And then I would do that every 6 months or so. I would put up plays. And then I started doing
I went to a couple of them. I definitely, yeah, I did. I went to one that was not, I went to one at the Hudson. And then I went to one that was like, I feel like it was like around the corner. Was there like another? Yes, we also did the HBO Workspace for a minute. We did one in there. Yes.
Which was like on Seaward.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. That was when we were moving on up.
Yeah. Well, it seemed, I remember just feeling like watching that show, feeling like, wow, she really does it. She really fucking does it. And you were like, you really were like, I think that I'm asking you these questions just because I think a lot of people look at someone, the success that you have and like where you're at, and they're like, I want to do that. That's what I would like to do that as well. And the hustle that it has been for you since out the gate.
And it doesn't get easier, right? Like, I think I'm so great. What I didn't realize is that all of that stuff, the writing, the producing, the navigating to this, I would get I'd call liquor reps and say, hey, I'm having a bunch of really sexy young actors at this. Will you give us free booze so that we can have a featured cocktail? Then we'd print up the featured cocktails. Like we were freaking everything. I still do that same thing. I just did featured cocktail for With Love. I just printed out. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So it taught me how to be a showrunner and how to be a producer. And it's no easier now than it was then. I'm just trying to bring in I'm trying to bring millions of people in now than 99 people. Now I'm trying to reach millions of people. It's the same stuff though, same stuff. And so that's where, I think people who come here and understand that this is really a journey, that if you want to do this, it's like, you got to think about it like grad school, you know, the people that are like 6 months and I'm going to see how it goes. No, it's not for you. Then do something. It's okay. Find something else. But if you're like, all right, I'll give it 10 years. Okay. Welcome.
Right. 10 years we can work
Welcome.
with. 20 is even better.
20 is really, that's where you want to be. I mean, it's literally 20 years for me since my first official Hollywood job to now.
But I also will say, Gloria, like the one thing that you and I and Casey have in common in this industry is the doing of many different kinds of things with the same sort of ultimate goal. Do you know what I mean? And like being able to shape shift and just do a myriad of different jobs within and all trying to like, I don't know, service something that we feel like is missing. But you know, like whether it's, I don't know, I think it's just good storytelling. People can like,
it's so fun. Like for me, I can't believe, I mean, don't tell them. Don't tell them, everybody. I can't believe they pay me to do this. I cannot believe I sit in a room with some of the funniest people on the earth, right? Like in Hollywood, like writers' rooms, there's what, a couple of thousand of us that do this for a living here. I get to sit with those people and we tell each other stories and make each other laugh. And then literally actors are like live Barbies, you know, where like I'm basically playing Barbies with actors and they're saying things and then I make them have sex and then they say more things. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I was sneakily doing. I was 13 years old and I can't believe I get to do it now and they give me money for it. And then on top of that, good things can happen from it. Like one day at a time, I'd worked on many shows and I had great time for many years on many shows. But one day at a time when we would do panels, it was a line of mothers and kids, grandmothers and kids coming for a hug line of like, before I saw your show, I was so afraid for my kid and I didn't know how to talk to my kid about this stuff. And you gave us a framework to talk to my kid about this stuff. You guys, you can't go back.
Yeah.
You can't. Right. Once you've done that, you're like, oh, I just want to do this.
Yeah.
I just want to do this. I just want to make stuff that can make them laugh and also maybe start a conversation that can heal so that we can all have a better time together on this planet.
Yes.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the way that you're talking about it is probably, and you must know this on some level too, a secret to your success is it sounds like you love it so much, you would do it for free. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people this is a conversation we're having all the time about like asking for what you're worth. And, you know, and obviously that's important and, you know, and you're worth a lot. But I think that when you're just passionate about doing something so much that you couldn't stop yourself from doing it if you tried and, you know, and you can, then that's it. Of course it's gonna, you know, of course you are talking like the work is the reward. And that's
the reward.
That's so nice to hear.
True. I mean, the actors all make fun of me because I legit go around all the time and say, you guys, we're making a show. We're making a show. Like, how many people can say, like, oh, I can't because I'm working on my show? What?
Right.
Like, it's never going to be, I will never be cool about it. I can't be cool about it.
I do think, like, I think that the people, it's so funny. I was telling Casey a couple weeks ago on my pod, I was feeling like our crew was having, like, kind of like a bummer morale moment because COVID's been hard. Shit's been hard. Everybody's exhausted, you know, whatever. And so I was like, we got to start some fun stuff. Like COVID's hard because you can't have the usual fun stuff, like food fun stuff that you used to have like in the same way. So I started like bringing some free shit that I would get sent from brands. And we started Free Shit Friday where like, it was like a raffle for anyone on the crew, like gets 5 tickets and they can put them wherever they want for all the free, you know, for free stuff. And it like became like, it's super fun. It's fun. And And the first time we did it, we were all like cheering and like the like the PA who got the weird heated blanket. We're like, woo! Like that's so exciting. And like I just looked around and I was like, all these people are here, and we like that guy's great at lighting, and then this person knows how to do tape. I don't know what that is. The gaffers, whatever. You know what I mean? But like we all are here. We get to do this insane fun job. We go home and then we get to watch it in 6 months. It's like the greatest job in the world. I don't know. It's really fun.
Pretty great. It's pretty great.
I know.
It's pretty great. We do a thing with the crew. If you want to add it to your free shit Friday, maybe you do like once a month wrap time. So you have everybody put $10 in a pot for what time you think you're going to wrap, and the person that comes closest to the wrap time gets the money, gets the pot. It's a good one.
Oh, that's
gets
perfect.
people excited.
That's amazing.
Somebody takes home $500. Yeah.
We were doing. I don't know what happened to that, because we on Cougar Town we always did $5 Fridays, and then occasionally we would do $10 Fridays, and then sometimes before the holidays we'd do $20 Fridays, and we would pick someone's dollar. We would just random pick someone out.
Right.
But for some reason they don't do that here in New York. I don't know why.
You got your free shit Friday. You did your thing.
I think I did that. I'm trying to hustle some free California Pizza Kitchen for the crew. Listen, I'm like trying to see. I'm also Gloria. I'm literally like you too. I'm like, hey guys, I have a great idea. Do you want to? I'll post about this on Instagram if you send us some pizza.
For real. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
What else? What should we talk about next? What's next? Is there going to be a season 2? I mean, I guess it's just coming out this week, but there's going to be a season 2, right?
I feel confident.
Yes!
I feel confident is what I'll say. I feel confident. That's what I'm going to say. I have a bunch of stuff in development. So I have a movie with Natasha Rothwell at HBO Max called We Were There Too. And it is about, she and I were at lunch and we were talking about how we love John Hughes movies. And it was like, isn't it, where were the little black kid and little Latino kid? And I was joking. I was like, it's like if the camera just moved left, like we just were right there. They just didn't capture us. And she was like, that's the movie. So it's literally like in the background is like Amali Ringwald doing her shit, but we're with the little black and brown girl as they're like in the 80s falling in love to a John Hughes soundtrack.
Amazing. I love Natasha so much.
Oh my God, I love
obsessed.
it.
I think she's one of the biggest stars on the planet Earth. I love her so much.
Agreed.
We had an obscene amount of fun writing that movie. So it's in the first draft is in, and we just started doing some polishes and stuff, and then hopefully we'll start on that. We're producers on that with Greg Berlanti. And then I have another show with Blumhouse and Spotify at Amazon called The Horror of Dolores Roach, based on the podcast with Daphne Ruben Vega and Bobby Cannavale. This one is starring Justina Machado of One Day at a Time fame. So we should be finding out about that hopefully in the next few weeks.
Amazing.
And that's like a Sweeney Todd modern day, killing people and putting them in empanadas and selling them, dark, funny.
Oh my God.
Stuff. Yeah, it's really funny and dark. And Justina just kills it. And then I have a Shakespearean teen soap called Verona, about focusing on the women of Shakespeare. So it's through the lens of a Latino lens. It's like Verona's like outside of Miami. It's basically Miami, and it's high school because that's the most heightened. I mean, talk about all the world's a stage. Never is that true in high school. And you have the freshman is based on Juliet, the junior is based on Ophelia, and the senior is based on Lady Macbeth. And it's these three sisters that are navigating high school, modern day story, but the Shakespeare journey over the course of the season, so that it can bring classics to the kids. And then I have Glowing Up, which is an animated queer celebration. It's about a young makeup blogger, Evan Horowitz, who is Puerto Rican and Jewish, growing up in Queens. That is basically matchmaking. It's sort of the story of Emma through the lens of this, musical animated comedy that we're doing with Field Trip with Will Graham's company. So it's busy. It's busy times. Yeah,
you do so many things. You do so many things. Do you sleep? People ask me that. Do you sleep?
I'm really lucky that I don't sleep a lot, but I can fall asleep like a dream.
Me
because
too.
I grew up in a loud Cuban household, and that was the biggest gift because my parents would take me to parties and just put me I'd be in like a little, whatever the little carrier was. And so if I wanted to sleep, I just have to sleep. So in college, I remember I drove my roommate crazy because I'd have the TV on to go to sleep because I kind of need the noise.
Yeah.
So I can go to sleep with the TV on like that. The amount is, I think the quality is pretty good. The amount dwindles, and I tend to like wake up at 4, wake up at 5, wake up at 6, because I have an idea and then I want to, write it down. And then, wait, what's happening on Instagram? Oh no, it's 5:15. I'm going to try to put my head down for another minute. I'm very good about my mental health. So I meditate a lot. I'm very big on cognitive behavioral therapy and dealing with anxiety and depression, which is something that I think a lot of women in Hollywood have to face. Yeah. And I feel like the last decade has been getting really good with that. And I think I'm in such a great place with my mental health, and I'm so grateful. So now 2022 forward is really physical health, making sure the body that is holding the brain, which I really don't, I just try to stay awake. I eat to stay awake. I drink coffee to stay awake because I want to keep going. But my job is mainly sitting at a computer. So it's now being intentional and thoughtful about ways I can move my body. You're so good about it, Busy. I don't know how you fit it in, but it's something I need to make a priority because I want to be like Norman Lear.
I've taken a break, but that's a whole other story. But I haven't, but you know what? I've been like, I really do think you would like that.
You told me the trampoline to get.
I really think you would love it. I really think you would love it.
I would too. I got to get it.
Well, maybe I'll just send you mine because it's not currently being used. So,
right now.
But Gloria, I love you so much. Do you have a crazy week ahead of promotion?
Yeah, but it's abundant. I'm also reframing language. I'm all language. I'm so grateful for these conversations because I used to say things like underwater, slammed. I'm not saying that shit anymore. I'm saying
I like
abundant.
this.
It is abundant. Things are really abundant, and I'm so grateful that they're abundant. And I'm here to meet the moment. And then on Sunday, I'm going to sleep all day. That's what's happening.
And then you
have a Chris, and then we've got like your kids will be off school.
They're holidays.
Is it just family time?
What a dream! It's family time. We're gonna
Do you have a vacation planned at all, or are you just gonna?
We don't yet. We wanted to do a trip, but we're not quite ready. We're not quite there yet. Soon. We'll get there. Soon.
I'm feeling nervous about flying. Also, I don't know. I'm just feeling nervous about it, but I don't know. I don't know.
We'll kind of see. I feel like we'll see. Things seem to be getting better. I'm cautiously optimistic, and in the interim, I'm happy to have some time to rest.
Well, I'm so excited to watch all 5 episodes Friday at 7 a.m. when I wake up.
Yay!
But it'll be such a fun activity for this weekend for people. Because also, guys, I just want you to know, Hollywood Break, it is important the first weekend that a show comes out.
Yeah.
Right.
So just...
Is it ever?
It really is. So I know that Amazon has all the love for this show with love because you don't get that sidebar on the front page of the LA Times for free. But I also know that it would be wonderful if everybody was like, you know what, this weekend, this Friday night, I'm going to check out
Do It
With Love.
We're actually live tweeting. The cast is live tweeting on Friday starting at 5:00.
Oh, you love tweeting. Wait, can we talk real fast before I let you go about your tweeting? You love to tweet.
Yes, I do. I love it.
And you're also incredibly generous.
You are. You're always like giving people advice. You're so nice to everybody.
Yeah.
You don't get
it can be, listen, because we need to, yes, it can be a dumpster fire, but it can also be a place of incredible kindness and joy. And how much would you have died for anybody that you loved, Busy, to have taken a moment out of their day to say, oh my gosh, yes, here's an answer to your question. Young person trying to do, Like it's all selfish. It's selfishly making up for the people that were not there for me. It's like, I need to do it for me at 18 who didn't know anything and who just wanted some pearl, something to keep going. And it takes 30 minutes. It's not a big commitment. Because I can't do coffees with people anymore. I can't all of those things, which I used to love to do. I can't do the amount of people that ask me to read a script as though that's brushing your teeth. I mean, a script takes me over an hour to read a half-hour script because I have to read it for real, which is going through it, judging it. Right. Like are you kidding? I don't have time. The shoot, we have to talk about shoot your shot, guys, shoot your shot, but know your audience. Don't ask a person with 5 shows to read when I don't know you. You can't do that stuff. Right. Can you say what is a piece of advice if I'm having a hard time? How do I look for an agent? Those kinds of questions. Yes.
We talk about that a lot, about how a lot of times people reach out and they just want you to help them in a general sense. And so if you can hone in on a specific question that might have a specific answer, it shows that you've done your homework and that you're, but I get a lot of so how do I do this? And I'm like, oh Lord. I mean,
really
there's
starting at let's do a little research first. And then, but I do have a free YouTube series through Beto it's 11 episodes of me talking about everything I know about Hollywood, and it's free. I literally did it because I wanted to offer a masterclass for people who could not afford masterclass.
It's so there. Great.
It's there. It lives on YouTube. Go watch it. It's everything that I know.
That's amazing.
And it's available to anybody who wants that information.
That is honestly super fucking generous and really great. And
I recommend it to so many people. I recommend Glow, your YouTube series, and also Jane Espenson had a blog.
Oh, she's so great.
She just cranked. I think those two things are equivalent to a master's degree.
A master's program. Let me also give love to Children of Tendu, which is a podcast, and the 2 guys that run it are awesome on Twitter. It's because remember they would, I guess growing up, they would hear as children often do, and they thought it was Children of Tendu. So they have this podcast called Children of Tendu, and they talk all about in depth about spec scripts and agents, and I mean they are incredible. So people should look them up too.
That's great. That's
all great.
A lot of free resources. Lots of free resources, young storytellers. We need you. Come.
We really do. That's the other thing too. I love that you're, diversifying in front of the camera, obviously helping to have representation, but behind the camera, helping get more stories out there.
All women directors, baby. All women directors.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Female DP.
I'm working with Linda. I'm working with Linda this week.
Linda Mendoza?
Yeah, Mendoza.
Oh,
Linda Mendoza.
I know Linda.
Please hold her in your arms. I love her so much.
She's
a fabulous director. So efficient. Watch her. You should shadow her, Lizzie.
Oh, you think I haven't been watching her?
I have worked on I've worked on hundreds of episodes of television now. And Pam Fryman is one of the greatest I've ever seen ever. In terms of efficiency, kindness, decency, happy crew, happy actors, doesn't raise her voice, incredible. And the same was true with all of these women. All of these women crushed, came in kind, know what they want, very efficient. I mean, Linda is a master. Linda's
she's incredible.
She's also so fast. You'll make your day. You're gonna make your day with Linda, and she'll get the shots, and she'll,
because she knows exactly what she wants. She has a plan. She's been thoughtful.
Collaborative though, for me as a showrunner, it's I'd love to see that. Oh yeah, we got that. We can do that. And then she'll just adjust this, and we're off we go.
She's incredible.
So yeah, please give her a big hug from me.
I will. She was just super excited. Couldn't believe that it was Birdie and that the whole connection. She was like, "Oh my God, I can't. That is crazy." And she was bummed that she couldn't be at the premiere.
I know, because, at the party. I know.
We were together.
It was a really good party.
It looked really fun.
It was good.
Gloria,
did they take this out?
I can't thank you enough. Also, guys, if you haven't watched One Day at a Time, there are a lot of parents. A lot of parents message me, like, especially, after in the last year and a half or whatever, and talking about Birdie and our journey together. And they're like, what, I need help, but whatever. One Day at a Time is truly such a great show to watch with your like preteen teens kids. It's like just fucking great. It's fucking great. But thank you for making things that I want to watch, that we all want to watch.
Likewise.
And thank you for putting my kid in it. Only you. They're only allowed to work with you.
I mean, it was such a treat. We had the best time, and it was just wonderful. Truly, lovely.
They're really good.
They're really good.
They're really
and
good.
They're gorgeous. Like the camera, could you die with how gorgeous they look on camera? I was
They're
like
really
a mom
photogenic.
sending you photo. Like I kept on saying, like, oh my God, this photo. Oh, send this.
But tell Casey, tell everybody, I wasn't on set. I wasn't a stage mom. I couldn't.
You were really good.
I held back.
Busy comes on a set and people are excited. They want to talk to her and want to, but you were really like, this is not about me. This is about, I want to stand back and make it about my kid.
I know.
To the point where we were like, but come out though too.
But come hang on set. But I think if Brie comes back, when there's a season 2, I think I can't do it again. I can't be in that trailer again. I gotta get somebody else to be this to be with Birdie. It's hard to be a stage mom, Gloria.
It is.
Do you feel like you're a stage mom of all of your cast? You're their stage mom.
I do, Mama Bear. That I
you
feel
really
tremendous. Do. I really do. Because I really love them. I mean, I have to. It's so funny because Isis and I were talking about this the other day. When I cast my actors, I call about them. I pick up the phone and call about every single one, because not only I have to be with them for a lot of hours, sometimes more than my own family, right? I want to have a good time. And I want to know they're going to be professional and that they're going to be lovely. And I'm not temper tantrum and in your trailer. No, thanks. No, thanks. I'm not here for it. So I call about all of them. And what I need to hear is, oh my God, they're so lovely. I'm in, because I already like them. And then they're so lovely. Were there a couple of people that were considered that I heard, oh my God, run in the other direction and I'm not working with them? Yeah. Because I'm not going to put myself through it. And I'm not going to put my other actors through it.
No,
right.
Because it has to be a love fest,
and
we're breathing rarefied air.
Yeah,
if you don't get that, then you don't need. Then go find another job. Because for me, we all have to sit in the joy of getting to do this gig, because it shows on screen. People feel it when they see it, and watching Girls 5 Up, it's like, oh, they're having like a great time.
We really
feel, not to say that you're not great actors, but you can. It's a vibe, like you can tell that. Like most of the reviewer, the people that are interviewing me, they're like, oh my God, are these people you've just known for years? I'm like, no, we just really, we were there with a purpose. We came knowing that this was so lovely that we got to do this thing. And I hadn't been in a room of people. And here's these like amazing people. I mean, it was wonderful.
And it translates, and I'm so excited, and I love you so much. And go get some rest and hug your kids, and then back to more fun stuff tomorrow for all of us.
Back to more fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Love you, Gloria. I love you.
Love you guys.
Well, Casey, I talked a lot about my health issues today. You talked a lot about your health issues today. We talked about how hard it is to get in to see doctors.
Yes.
You know who's on ZocDoc?
Who?
Dr. Wang, my doctor.
Oh, I love him more and more that I hear about him. Yes, also my new Ellie doctor, also on ZocDoc.
Listen, guys, this is what you need. You need a ZocDoc app on your phone. You need to get into the app because you can find real people who give reviews to real doctors. You can compare doctors by their ratings. You can read real reviews. You can find and book highly rated local doctors. When you need a doctor, you need a doctor now, not in a few days like me. This is exactly what I just went through.
Right.
You need to see an MD ASAP, and this is the solution. You download the free ZocDoc app. It's the easiest way to find a great doctor, instantly book an appointment. And with ZocDoc, you can search for local doctors who take your insurance. You read verified patient reviews. You book the appointment in person or a video. You don't have to wait on hold with a receptionist. Whether you need a primary care physician, a dentist, a dermatologist, a psychiatrist, an eye doctor, any other specialist, ZocDoc has got you covered.
I just want to say one thing. I want to point out something that's very important to me with ZocDoc, and it's not part of like anything they've asked us to say, but I am a really anxious person. I suffer from anxiety. I get overwhelmed when I have to make a bunch of cold calls and sit on hold. And a lot of times that just results in me shutting down and like calling off the project, no matter what it is, including like getting in to see a doctor when I'm not feeling well. This app eliminates 100% of all of that anxiety and stress. You can just get on there, read the reviews, find a doctor who's available, book it, and that's it. And you never had to go through all of the anxiety that like dealing with any of this stuff on the phone can create.
Well, exactly. And they'll get like you can find a doctor that's available immediately.
Right.
ZocDoc is making healthcare easy. Go to ZocDoc.com/doingherbest and download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free. For free. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/doingherbest. Download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free, and you can book a top-rated doctor. Many are available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/doingherbest. Truebill is an app that helps you. Are we going to get sued?
Maybe, but maybe not.
Also, Madonna's got bigger fish to fry. All right. So listen, guys, here's what Truebill is. It's a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or honestly, in my case, you just forgot that you have signed up for, which is a lot. A lot of free trial subscriptions end up costing you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars long after you forgot to cancel the free trial. So you can fight back against scammy subscriptions with Truebill. On average, people save about $720 a year with Truebill.
Who doesn't need $720?
Yes, 100%. Companies make subscriptions really hard to cancel. Truebill makes it very easy. You link your accounts, and Truebill cancels your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions, so you don't have to. So, listen, I'm a person who signs up for things all the time and then forgets to cancel them.
Yeah.
Still paying for I was like, oh, maybe I should not be paying for that thing in Los Angeles anymore.
Right.
Shoot.
Yes. And with all the streaming services, individual subscriptions, all the softwares that we all try out for various things with our work, or, just anything that made you put in a credit card to join for free for 7 days that you then forgot to cancel. It's so easy just to go right on the app and be like, oh, no, I don't want this.
Honestly, I think you should join the more than 2 million Truebill members taking back financial control. Go to the App Store or Google Play today and download Truebill for free. Okay, Jennifer B says, with your help, our family has saved $587 a year on unnecessary subscriptions. It's just it's money that's being just given away to something you don't want.
Yeah,
Take it back.
Siphoned off of your...
Take it back.
You need it.
Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/best. Go right now. Truebill.com/best could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/best.
Gloria, she was great. We didn't talk about what we're doing our best at this week. We talked about how whack our weeks have been.
Well, I'm going to do my best moving forward with reframing how I discuss how busy I am, a la Gloria, Calderón, Kellett.
Yeah, I thought that was really good advice. Reframing is just such good advice for kind of everything that you have like negative feelings about, you know? And it's not to say that like you can't have negative feelings. It's just like things are what they are, and like you can either manage them or decide to do something about them, or, you know, whatever. And I think the way that you talk about it is really helpful in deciding how you want to manage them or what you want to do about things. And so I was really happy she said that, because I thought that was really smart and useful tip from someone who's clearly very productive and seems like she's having a fucking blast being that way.
So that's what I'm going to do my best at.
Okay, great.
I'm going to get better. I'm going to do my best to get better. I'm definitely going to like continue to try to like pay attention to my health.
Yeah.
And like my levels of exhaustion and my exertion.
Yeah.
Overextending.
Yeah.
Agreeing to too many things. Like even just now I got like a text from a person who I had said I would like make a video for a charity thing for. And it's like, why did I fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I believe in the charity thing. I want to help, but it's just, there is many things. There are many things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Criteria. If you would like me to help you set up some criteria, I'm telling you, it's everything for someone in your
I need criteria
in your position.
I already did. I have to tell you something. I already took a couple steps. Good. And I'm pretty proud of myself. Okay, so there you go. I took a couple steps and I am proud of myself for like it's like a little bit of like criteria, right? I've been like, I don't need to hire a finder for help. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you know like those companies, like agencies? Oh my God, they're agencies. You guys, my brain. And then all of a sudden I was like, but why not? Why don't I just hire an agency to help me find the help I need here, and like it'll be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I did. I did that.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things. Like, and I know to people at home, like it probably doesn't one-to-one apply, but like even me, like, I'm not like a big deal, big time showbiz person, but even me at home, I'm applying criteria to everything that I'm doing, which is like if someone reaches out to me on social media and they're like, hey, what channel is that show that you mentioned on? I'm like, I'm not responding to that. You're able to find that on the very device on which you were asking me this question. You are able to Google this. So like, it's not to be mean.
It's do your own research, guys.
Yeah. It's a
Can I be honest? I haven't been posting on Instagram at all. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I don't know. I'm just so fucking like,
yeah.
I'm exhausted by everything, a little bit. And like, that is a thing that I realized when I was away.
Yeah.
That I didn't need to. But anyway, when I posted the thing about abortion last week, because it was just really hard, I'll cry about it again.
Yeah.
I almost posted, I'm not going to put, by the way, I'm not I'm no longer putting grassroots organizations that you should be donating to because do your own fucking research. Like I almost put that, and then I was like,
right,
I need to not. I need to not do that. But I didn't put places to donate to because I do feel like do your own fucking research, people. Like it does get like exhausting that we just expect everybody to do everything for us all the time when it's like, and even I'm guilty of it myself, and I've been really like trying to do better.
Well, everybody is. That's the thing.
Right.
And I think one of the issues that we're facing is that we have become, possibly because of like everything that we have at our fingertips, kind of society where we're all accustomed to being satisfied instantly, whether it's for information or something an item that we want, or what people just reach out. And it's like, it's not even nefarious when you say like, what's an organization that you suggest or whatever. It's just that cumulatively, if you've been asked 1,000 times, what's an organization, then it's a lot because I know how you are. I know how I am. My natural instinct is to help and to say,
Correct.
it's on Hulu or it's on Peacock, or, and your natural instinct is to like rattle off this list of reputable organizations. But also like, this is a list that you've rattled off before. Like if I said that I liked a TV show, I probably said what platform it was on before. So like, the information's out there. That's why I'm like, criteria is kind of good just to like relieve yourself of a burden and like say, it's not a mean thing. It's just a thing that I am confident, because you're a smart person, you can figure it out for yourself, and you don't need to lean on me to do that because I have like a lot of stuff that I actually need to do. But criteria can be for everything. It can be for like deciding when to post to Instagram. Like you can set up criteria like, here's when I'm going to post to Instagram. If it's about a cause that I believe in, and if it's about like thanking someone for something that they did for me, or if it's about promoting something, or, whatever. You can have like a list of 5 occasions where you would post to Instagram, and you can, for causes, you can decide, in 2022, I'm going to focus on 2 causes. One is like getting things to like children who are in need and, and is tied to this specific organization, maybe Baby to Baby. And one is going to be, reproductive rights for Americans. And, and those are going to be my 2 main focuses. And when people ask me to host other things, I can say, yep, that sounds great. Unfortunately, I'm focused on these 2 things this year.
Yeah, like it's hard for me to do that with this thing. And I've talked about this before because I do feel like you don't have to just care about one thing. And I care about lots of things, and I want to be able to, if I can, I want to be able to show up in a myriad of ways. The thing is, my availability mentally, physically, and otherwise varies from month to month and week to week.
Right.
And so like the kidney people, in May, maybe I'm like, I really don't have that much going on in May. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like if a person like reaches out to me with a thing, a cause or whatever in a time when I'm not, it feels then, and I don't know what that is, but to me, it feels like in that moment, me being like, oh, I'm really just only focused on these other things feels shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but yeah, you do have limited life, and you do have like limited bandwidth. And by the way, like saying no to something doesn't mean that you don't care about it. It just means that you're caring about yourself too. And like, you're really lucky. You can just be like, hey, I can't host that thing, but I can write you a check, Like, to be honest.
That's true.
That check is so much more helpful to that organization than like every organization wants to do fun stuff with celebrities. But, you're a person and you have a life and you're trying to like put your family first and take care of yourself and your health. And, you know, so like, it's very hard. It's very hard. And I know it's really hard too, because a lot of times we agree to something in the moment. And then when the time actually comes, it's really difficult to like rally yourself to do it. But like, I am such a fan of criteria. And like, I talk to people like I'm my own assistant. I just let them assume that I'm my assistant. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not available for that. And that's not something that I'm focusing on right now. And, you know, so I can't imagine what it's like for you, but I'm a big fan of setting criteria, because the thing is, you're the boss of it then. And you can then say, well, I'm breaking my own rule this time for this or whatever. But, you know.
Okay. All right. I'm going to consider it.
It works for anything. It literally works for like stuff around the house, you know?
Oh shit. Speaking of which, I did mention earlier today that I needed to send out. I decided I didn't have the bandwidth to do laundry.
Yeah.
So I was going to send it out and then I forgot to do it. But that's okay. I'll do it later.
Well, I'm sure you guys have a little bit of like, I know that you guys have like stuff packed away, but right.
Well,
like,
we're in this place doesn't have a full size washer dryer.
Right.
So it makes it very difficult to do large amounts of laundry.
Yeah.
Which, you know, not
worth beating yourself up over.
No. And I like have a massive sinus infection. I don't really feel like doing laundry right now, but in fact, I'll probably just go back and lie on my giant heating pad. After we're done with this.
Cricket is old enough to do a load of laundry. She might like to learn.
She's good at laundry. She does laundry.
So
Cricket's great at laundry. Cricket's great. Cricket's always been great at chores.
Pay her adorable ass to wash a load of underwear and then take a nap. Oh, what did you want to tell me?
No, you tell me what you're doing your best at this week, and then we'll discuss some other things.
Okay. What I'm doing my best at this week is that I was invited to a party, which was so nice to get the invitation. I don't think she'll mind if I say, but our friend Arden Marine, who has been a guest on the podcast, had like a holiday/birthday party. And it was going to be all vaxxed people, all outdoors, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I said I would go. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm too tired, whatever. But my husband was like, let's just go and say hi. And like, you know, like showing up for people. Like we said, like Arden needs me to show up for her birthday. Like obviously she's the queen. But so we went and it was like the best time. And I saw Shantira.
Did you send me a picture?
I posted on Instagram a picture of us together.
I felt like it was to me.
It was really nice. And I felt really bad because a lot of people were like, does this mean she's recorded the podcast? And I was like, no, we just ran into each other and hung out as friends. It was so great, but it was literally like a reunion of everyone that's ever been on the podcast. I felt like, not really, but so many people that have been podcast guests. And I got to see our friend John Ross Bowie and his wife, Jamie Denbo. And I got to see my friend Brendan Smith, who hosts an amazing music podcast. If you're interested in music, he's delightful. Just saw so many people and met so many nice people. And I was so happy that I went because Arden's house is like magical and like it just is like she's had some type of magical spell done over that place that it's just like a very, very joyful place.
Yeah, she had sent me the invitation for it. But I want her house to look so fucking cute. I've always wanted to
so great. She's really she has has a talent for like interior decorating and
she really
entertaining. But also she just was like, it was so weird. I was trying to tell her because of course, like I was like, I need to text her and thank her for having us at the party. And before I even could, she texted thanking us for coming. And I was trying to tell her that just watching how joyful she was and and everybody was there to celebrate her, and but just watching how joyful she was and how receptive she was, it was like exactly what I needed. And I wound up like so glad that I went when I was like trying to talk myself out of it, because I don't know why I was, because we're all so socially weird now. But it was really like, I have not been to, maybe not in my life, but at least not in a really long time, I've never been to a party where like, first of all, I knew half of everyone and I recognized the other half. If I didn't know them personally, I recognized them because they're like performers and, and Arden's an actor. Literally every person was saying, hi, I'm so-and-so, hi. Like you could like going past each other.
And I love that.
It was so nice. And I was like, that's a really special person that assembles a group of people that are the type of people to be like, hi, I'm so-and-so. I would like to have an amazing chat with you by this enchanted fire pit. It was really, really great. And I was so grateful. And I was so happy to see Shantira. And so now we're trying to like get together so she can see the boys, because she hasn't seen them in a long time. And I know that sounds so weird that I'm like trying to arrange for my friend to see my adult men sons, who I'm calling the boys, but but she loves them. And that's like that's a little bit of a Christmas tradition, I feel like, in our families now. So yeah. So they were so excited that we ran into her.
I love it.
Yeah, it was
really
great. It was great.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember. I had a list. I was keeping a list. And that was helpful. And then I think I left it at work.
It was a list of things you wanted to talk about?
Yeah.
About like things in the world?
That's what, no, like this is this is another thing I was kind of trying to do my best at. Like I was like, I'm going to be a better podcast host. And I was like making notes of like things that I should talk about that like are good, the funny things that happened during the week that were like, that I should talk about. The podcast, and then I left it at work, so I don't have it.
Listen, you tried. Where did you put the list? You just wrote it old school on paper?
I like old school writing on paper.
I get that. I hear that. We have to get you the thing that like it's old school writing on paper, but then it goes into your phone. So like even if you leave the paper thingy behind, you have it in your
Sometimes
phone.
I take pictures of notes.
Yeah, I do too. And like some people are so great using that like Evernote app, and then they can like look up things that, and I'm just like, I don't know if my brain, I might be like 7 days too old to ever know about that.
I don't think that my brain works like that at all. I can't even organize photos, which is so annoying.
Yeah, some people, oh my God. My friend Taryn, like I'll be like, remember that time we got pizza? Like I think it was in the fall, and she'll be like, she'll have like a photo. She'll have already pulled it up before I can even say, and she'll be like, yeah, it was in autumn, November 14th, 2017. We had pepperoni pizza. Here's a picture of us. And I'm just like, how do you fucking do that?
I don't understand it. Oh, wait. Oh, do you want to hear this? This is a good story. We'll end on a nice story maybe.
Okay.
And then we talk for 45 more minutes to 2 hours more. There's 2 more hours this podcast, guys. Strap in. Okay, so Sunday night, peak of this sinus infection ravaging my brain and body. And I was laying down on my heating mat, and finally, like, Mark and Bertie got back, thank God. And I used my, like, face light thing, my infrared light thing on the pain relief setting, which you're not really supposed to do on your face because you don't want to put, like, heat on your face, whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. Desperate times. I was in so much pain. And I have to be honest with you, I was like pretty sure that it was a sinus infection, but also since it's been so long because of my surgery, since I've had one.
You couldn't remember.
I kind of was like, is this meningitis? Like, I kind of was like, I couldn't remember how bad it hurt too. And I was like, do I need to go to the hospital? Am I reaching like a point where I need to go to the hospital? Like truly on Sunday night. So like, I'm going to try this light thing on my face and see if that gives me any relief. And I'll try to do some meditation whilst doing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was laying there and kind of like going into like a zoning out. My head was in so much pain. And then all of a sudden, my friend Jenna appeared like in my space. And I was like, oh my God, Jenna is here. She's right here. And then I was like, oh God, literally, this is in my head, right? I'm like, oh God, Jenna, am I dying? Like, is that why you're here? Because I'm close to death, you know?
Yeah.
And then she just started laughing, like her beautiful, amazing laugh that she had.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Okay. And then basically Jenna was like, you're not dying, but you have to go to a doctor tomorrow. It's really important. Like, you have to go to a doctor tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It's all in my head, guys. And anyway, I was there for a little bit longer. I took the light thing off. I put it down and looked at my phone. So it's time to go to bed. Are you ready for this? It's pretty fucking wild. It was 15 minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes that I was doing this, okay?
Yeah.
11:05 p.m. on Sunday. 3 videos were texted to me with the message, I was organizing some old hard drives and found these gems I thought you would enjoy. It's Jenna's voice. It's Birdie and Jenna. Listen.
She's coming back, Kelly. We're sharing our shoes. We're sharing.
That's Cricket. That's Birdie's voice.
I think you have dinner at home.
Wait, and she's asking Killian for food.
Okay. Oh, Kelly, can we share a little bit with Birdie, please? Just a little.
Isn't that fucking nuts?
That's wild. Those are from her husband?
From her partner, her former partner. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. And he, like, it was while it was all happening.
Yeah.
Like, energetically, she just showed the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like just brought me, you know, was like so comforting to me. And then I like got to hear her voice because I don't have like video, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, that's a meditation technique, you know, like in a guided meditation, sometimes they'll ask you to picture someone that's standing there and then ask you to like think of where they're pointing you or what they're saying to you. And I think that's amazing because, wait, how do I say this without, because I mean it in like a nice way. Like sometimes it's hard. Like I'm sure a bunch of people were telling you that you needed to go to the doctor or whatever, you know, but you're like brushing past.
No one was, just by the way, no one was.
No one
just
was?
FYI. No.
I would have told you. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
or
I don't have a, you know.
I'm sure you were thinking it yourself and probably brushing past it because there was too much to do, you know, but like when your good friend shows up to you in your space and tells you, then, you know, you take it seriously and you took it seriously because like you want to honor that, you know, and so, yeah, I think that's great. And like, maybe, you know, maybe that's a thing too going forward. Like maybe you're calling her to you. And if she doesn't mind coming to tell you, you know,
Well,
when you're trying to decide whether to go left or right.
I don't, yeah. I mean, like, I want her to be able to like be free in whatever space she's in, you know. But I appreciate it so much that, you know,
Yeah.
that she showed up and then to like get those videos of these babies. And my friend, it was so sweet and so like fucking magic. Like it felt like a magic trick, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she was such, you know, she was so caring and so loving that like I was working a lot on Cougar Town when the kids were babies, when Birdie and Killian were babies. You heard Birdie's little voice in that video. And Jenna would like take Bird with Ileana, you know, to the park. Like also working moms, you know, it's not all the time that like your friend will like, and our nanny is wonderful. And like, I love our, you know, Ileana, our former nanny, she's not our nanny anymore, but it's not very often that your friends would like call, like hang out with your nanny, with your kid. You know what I mean? Does that sound weird? It sounds weird.
No, I mean, I think that seems right on the money for a good friend, and I'm sorry that you lost her. But here's what I do want to say. And yes, maybe I have microdosed with the little chocolate that I did have left over that wasn't
today?
A scam. Not today, like late last night. I really needed to just like get right. Here's what I think though.
Nice.
Here's what I think. And like, this is okay. I'm just about to be like full loony. I think that she is free. And I think that whatever she is now is like also you. You know what I mean? Like you're everything that you can think of. And so when you're picturing her telling you that you have to go to the doctor, it's you coming to yourself and saying, let me tell you the thing that you need to understand from a person who you're going to hear it from, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that, and like, I think that whatever's happening with her, she's so beyond all of our schedules and
we can't even it's a freckle on a star, right?
Exactly.
That's why Freckle named themselves Freckle. You know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know.
Did you know that?
I love Freckle. I didn't know that.
I do too.
But that's,
because it's like,
of course,
because
so
it's like
fitting.
it's beyond comprehension. Yeah, it's like a freckle on a star, on a moonbeam, on a something.
Right.
I think this is like a really transformative time for everybody. I just want to say that. And I want to say that like, I know it's been fucking hard for a lot of people, and people have been feeling a lot of weight of a lot of different things, you know?
Yeah.
I think we have a really good opportunity to like reframe a lot.
Yeah. And
in these next few weeks toward the end of the year.
Yeah. I think that, you know, just maybe it's good. I know for a lot of people, things are hard because they're so different than they have been in years past. But I keep trying to tell myself that like, maybe it's good to see, you know, this time of year in a different way, to see myself in a different way, to see other people in a different way. Because here's the thing is that like, I know that I work hard. I know that I do. And I know that I get tired and that I get impatient. But there are people that have been working so hard for so much longer than me and are so much more tired and still have been so fucking patient with me and all like my dumbass questions and like things that I need to know and learn and, you know, and waiting for me to catch up, you know, like I've been so lucky to have friends that I know probably like rolled their eyes at me a million times, but stuck by me and waited for me to catch up and waited for me to like learn the shit that I needed to learn about like being a good friend and just knowing shit about like what their lives are like, you know? And so I think like any type of a reset, even when it's hard, has to be good. Like it has to be good. Like what else can it be? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's happening. It's happening no matter what. So I just want to look at it like, okay, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to, I don't know, just to see things in a new way and like learn a bunch of stuff and be grateful for the people that were really, really patient with me on my way to like as far as I've come.
Okay. I feel like what you said about like that's like what a good friend would do, you know?
Yeah.
I think that being patient with people is what good friends do. It's like what good people do.
Yeah.
And it's what people who really love you do.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you don't like ever get
Annoyed
or whatever. It's just that like in my experience, I just have known a lot of people that are like, I don't know, that just kind of like make a judgment, like a final judgment on someone and sort of like, and I'm sure that I've done that too. And I'm not saying that that's not ever right to do if that's what's right for you. All I'm saying is that there are so many people in my life that could have made a final call on who I was. And they were like, you know what, though? I'm going to stick around a little while longer and see what that girl's got in her, you know? And so I'm so grateful for that. So when I'm able to extend that to someone else, then that's what I want to do because, you know, it just like, look, then you get invited to like this magical party in a magical little yard and everyone's like introducing themselves to you like a bunch of angels. And you're so glad that happened, you know, because you opened yourself up to like the possibility of that, you know, and I don't know when that possibility is going to come again. So
yes, I think you're right. I think sometimes people are quick to write people off when they're like, well, this just doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah.
But there are so many rewards. You know, every fucking time I do press for anything, they're like, what's the secret of your longtime friendship with Michelle Williams? Which is like boring to me, but also I get it. But also like I have long-term relationships with lots of people.
Right.
And you go through different phases like
For sure.
with people and you see them in different times. And some of those times are going to be like eye rolls to you. And sometimes what you're going through or what you're processing is going to be eye rolls to your friends. You have to like be willing. You got to take the same vows you think you want to take with like a husband or a wife, you know?
Yeah.
It's like for better or worse.
Yeah.
You meet someone and you like are like, let's do this friendship thing.
Yeah.
You got to like ride it out. That also does not mean that you get taken advantage of. It's a fine line to walk, run, ride.
Is such a
something
to ride, to balance.
Sure.
It really is. You just have to, you really have to like, you have to listen to your heart. And I'm being so corny, but I guess, I'm just saying that I'm really grateful because I know I have been like just not the best friend in the past because I really just didn't know how. Like I didn't know what friends did, you know, and I'm still learning. And so I'm so grateful to people that are like, oh, I fucking like you anyway. And like, even if you are weird and you didn't do that exactly the way I'm so lucky. But also, yes, you have to do what's right for you in the moment. And it doesn't mean that you can't go back and re-examine. I'm glad people haven't thrown me out.
God, who would throw you out? You're the greatest person of all time.
Come on.
Come on. It's true. Hey, listen. I'm ready for it all to be shifted, guys. It's all happening.
Yes.
We're going to have episodes coming up on this break. I don't know if you're off work, guys, at home. I don't know what you're doing. Some people are taking time off.
Yeah. I think we are taking 1 week off, like after.
Yeah, I requested one
after
week off.
Christmas. Yeah.
The week after Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great.
Then we'll be back
Yes.
with a whole new. There's a full moon this week, guys. Saturday. This is full moon Saturday.
Just get
This is a
ready
good
for
one.
it.
Charge your crystals. This is the cold moon. Go get somewhere where you can see it. Light it up.
Yes.
Get it going. I'm going to go do like a whole ritual. I'm going to leave the sinus infections in the past. Moving forward,
I'm going
whole
to
health.
swim in my box of water in my yard and look at the
Yeah, I think that
moon.
sounds wonderful, actually. Be with water. You should bathe in it. You should bathe in the moon and bathe in your little water. Maybe I'll find the notes that I had written, and then we can talk about it never. But
It's a good start.
it's a good start. I'm always reaching, I'm always trying. I'm trying my best. Hey, I'm doing my best.
Oh
it's
my
the name of the podcast. Shut up.
Oh my God. I
All
like
right,
that
I'm gonna go lie down.
we rediscover it every week. That we're like,
I know,
oh,
kind of, it's true. It's so true.
like, oh wait, that's what we were supposed to be talking about the whole time. But that's how life is.
It is how life is. Let's be real. Let's be real, guys. All right, I'm gonna go drink some water and lie down on my heating mat, and then maybe Cricket will come in and be cute. And then
That sounds really fun. We love you guys.
we love you.
We will talk to you next week.
We're gonna talk to you next week.
And and it'll be like some type of pre-holiday anxiety alleviation, something spectacular. Maybe we'll make a signature cocktail or something.
Ooh, let's do it.
A signature morning cocktail.
Well, if I'm cleared to fly, I think next week I'll be recording from my parents' house.
Oh, that'll be a whole vibe and a whole energy.
So there you go.
We love you. Be so good to yourself and take care of your sinuses and take care of your armpit lumps and fuck
All your
peop-
lumps.
Fuck people who hit your car and don't leave a note.
Yeah, that sucks.
And
Really
and
sucks.
Godspeed to whoever stole those cookies.
I mean, bless them. They're on their own now. They're on their own. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh, no.